right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. Tonight, we are playing a new game. We're playing Holler, an Appalachian apocalypse. I said horror before, it's apocalypse. Yeah, it's a new Savage Worlds game. We just started playing Savage Worlds on the channel as we've been playing some Deadlands recently, and saw this on Kickstarter last year. And they released a PDF to backers and such, and now, I think they just released, the proper PDF to backers today, so it's coming out soon. But I'm super excited because, the setting is just really, really cool. So it's something I've been looking for a while. We're down Derek tonight, and we're not doing Delta Green, but we brought a Jeremy instead, who's that way somewhere. So it's normally in our Monday games, but yeah, he's coming hanging out with us tonight, too. But yeah, this is going to be fun. It's going to be a one shot. This isn't going to be any kind of long-term thing. Maybe we'll come back and play the characters at some point, because I got a feeling we're probably going to play this game a decent number of times, because I just love everything about it. And most everyone we play with wants to play this, so it should be good. But this is, if you're unfamiliar, this is a game that was on Kickstarter. I think it was last fall, and just started delivering some stuff. And it's an interesting blend of a couple different genres. So it's 1930s. Think about those terms. It's Appalachian apocalypse. And what that means is that we're set kind of in an Appalachian setting, but some strange stuff has essentially happened. So the big bads, or which are called the big boys of the setting, have, through their technology, have figured out a way to separate all of Holler, this Appalachian setting, from the rest of the world using their tech. And so now they've managed to keep this resource rich section of the world all to themselves, and these poor people that are left are kind of under the boot of these big boys. So it kind of combines things like folk horror and cryptids and industrialization, labor struggles, oppression, all that kind of stuff, and into one sort of, in some ways, hyperbolic fun setting. So yeah, we are using specifically the playtest rules. So I know that literally today, I think they released a more recent version of the PDF. I haven't had a chance to look at and see what changes there might be. So there could be changes coming, but we'll do our best to kind of stick with it. We're also playing one of the Savage Tales from the book. So we're playing the Swallowing Ground, which is one of these kind of one-shot things. So just letting everybody know. How about this? How about we do intro the characters? Tell us who you are, that kind of stuff, because you're all troublemakers and freedom fighters is basically what you are. You're here to kind of rally the folks around Holler to sort of stick it to the big boys, essentially, right? That's kind of what we're after. So who are you? If you got an edge or two that kind of, or a hindrance, something that kind of makes you stand out, whatever you think, and maybe, sort of describe that. But we'll dive into your characters a little bit more as we play. But just give us the brief intro. So Ashley, who y'all playing?
So I'm playing MacLeod, and she's an older woman who, she's got some folklore powers. So, she's lived here a long and hard life, and she's learned some things, and she's got some funny hindrances. So she's suspicious, and also she's Muladin. So whenever she's feeling Maudlin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But whenever she's feeling something, she's feeling it, because she does not keep that in. So
And she's slow, physically slow.
Yeah.
So you're I got to make Ashley's and Long's characters for them because they haven't played Savage Worlds before, so I pieced it together based upon an idea they gave me. And so, but you're a granny woman specifically. That's essentially the archetype you're playing. So you're playing an older. Doesn't actually have to be an older lady. A granny woman doesn't actually have to be old, but you are. And they tap into certain folk magic.
You got to play an old woman sometimes. It's just great.
You really like
Mrs.
the olds and the youngs. That's what you like.
Yeah.
The extremes.
Let me be an orphan child or an old, just horrible woman.
Or an orphaned old horrible woman. Something like that.
She is orphaned. Her husband's dead. So
I don't think that means
That's
you're
widowed,
orphaned. I think that means you're
but-
widowed. That would be
in her
kind of
mind.
strange if you
You
were
know?
orphaned.
There's a
The
parallel
fact
there,
that your
though.
husband died. Dear God. Dear God. I shouldn't
That's
judge
not
you.
what I intended.
All right. But yeah, it's funny because I'm like, hey, what do you want to play? And she's like, I'll play this. I'm like, oh, okay. You're the one that can cast spells and stuff. What are the more complicated ones? Got it. Okay. We could do this. But no, we'll see if
and
it
I
plays.
just saw old lady, and I was like,
No, it's all
Nice.
good. It's perfect. Like, it was funny because we were talking and I was just like, I think you're gonna like one of that's what I thought you'd play. And you're like, am I that easy to read? I'm like, yeah. All right. Let's move it on. We got Jeremy tonight. Jeremy, who are you playing?
Oh, hell, man, I'm gonna playing Cletus. I ain't got nothing magic about me. I'm a large, rotund, belligerent some bitch. But I am a brawler and I hate the big boys. So, I'm a sneak and a thief, and I literally got a demon hiding inside me because I'm haunted. But, it's okay. More often than not, I do what I'm supposed to, or what I'm not supposed to the people who deserve it. I
Wait
don't
till you-
talk good.
Wait till you see Jeremy's. I'm gonna switch it over. Let me show you Jeremy's token. See if I can zoom in on this really fast here. I asked them to do their tokens
this is
in
the best.
let's see if you can guess which one of these might be Cletus. Just kind of guess which one might possibly be Cletus. I don't know.
I mean,
Got a
I own
feeling.
3 things, man. I got me some ratted boots. I got me some overalls, which I don't bother to button up because I'm proud of my keg-like physique. They got me a dog.
Tell us about your dog. Tell
Oh,
us about
Indy?
him. Yeah.
And them big boys, some bitches, they wrapped up some puppies, dumped them in the water. I was able to save one of them. Now, she don't know who it was, so she just snaps at every big boy she sees, and that's how I know she's a good girl.
There
And
you
I don't
go.
care if you think it's weird to call a girl Indy. It's just, it feels right.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. All right. I don't know what we're going to do. I even made a little token for Indy too, so it's really fun. We'll see. I don't know. Hopefully Indy will survive. I would never kill a dog in a kid pit. It's crazy.
Mhm. But a cat,
in real
sure.
life, though. Yeah, cat for sure.
Horses.
No problem.
Horses are entirely
Horses,
okay.
they don't live very long. That's just a known fact right there. All right. Bottom row. We got long. Who you playing?
I'm playing Theodore Oakley, a moonshiner.
Moonshiner.
You know where to find me if you need some. I'm I'm always fixing Susan's shed because I'm a fixer.
Why is her shed keep breaking? You must not be very good at fixing things. Keep having to fix it.
So a couple of hinges. I'm also quite attractive
What?
in a sense of the beauty's an eye of the beholder. I'm
You
actually
got a good
quite ugly.
personality. You got a good
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah, man,
Also
you
have-
provide the booze. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh god.
And I just have a little minor habit. Like to say, give it a little slap on the knee and say yeehaw to a couple
Oh,
things
God.
here and there.
Oh goodness.
Wait, that's your habit.
Oh, goodness. Bless your heart. Just bless,
Bless
your,
your
heart, right
heart.
there.
Hmm.
Lauren, did I ever tell you about my moonshining, the moonshining family? Like when I was in college, my first year in college in the dorm, there's a guy on our floor whose family was a bunch of moonshiners in Florida in the Panhandle. And one weekend, he invited a bunch of us up to go visit family. We did, and they were an interesting lot. I experienced a whole lifetime that weekend. It was quite significant, and I nearly blew up a distillery. So, whoops. Who knew fire? Who knew fire was bad in that situation? But some other time I'll tell
No.
that story. Good old moonshine. All right, and then finally, we got Melissa. Melissa, who you playing?
I am playing Miss Hester Higglebottom. You can call her Miss H, because she is the school teacher, music teacher, and bluegrass performer.
Bluegrass performer.
So for the edges that I went with, I went not just attractive, but very attractive, which gives +2 for persuasion and performance,
Mhm.
as long as there's a reasonable chance that the person you're talking to would be attracted to you. And Pickin and grinning, because that seemed to make sense for a musician. She has an ongoing feud with the elderly teacher who always thinks she's up to something, and she's not wrong, but she hasn't been able to catch Miss H at anything yet. Outsider, she's got some book learning to her, and arrogant. Thought the very attractive arrogant went together.
I like how you have attractive, Long's got ugly.
Yeah.
It's nice. Hit both sides of that. Hit both sides of that coin. Do you have persuasion? Like, what did you put in persuasion? What's your die size?
I put D8 in performance and D6 in persuasion.
Okay. That sounds good.
D8 in spirit.
Anyone here good at the old rough and tumble? Any gougers?
Well, I don't have that talent per se, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm a sneak and thief, and I will. I mean, if you want me to gouge tonight, I'll do it.
I love the gouging stuff so much. It's fantastic. With your hainted, it's critical fail, right? Like when you roll snake eyes. Okay, I just want to make sure.
And what's nice is you don't have to do it right then. You can be sneaky and like just let it ride and screw me over later.
Where's possible times? One's gonna throw that on out there. All right, we all ready to get started? Sounds like we are. Okay. All right, here we go. So again, this is a one shot, so we're gonna kind of move things along a bit. So you all, like I said, you're troublemakers. You are specifically, when I say troublemakers, I say that in the sense that like you're there to make trouble, not for the people of Holler, but for the big boys, because they are ultimately like the worst things. So this adventure is going to be set in the Cussfoot Fens, which is east of the Hogback Hills. It's across Big Sandy, which is a river, and this is another. We have like another swamp adventure that we're doing in One Ring, so it feels kind of weird. We're just constantly in swamps. It's partly because I really like swamps. All right, so let's just get this started then. So let's say after a decidedly effective sabotage gig of some kind that y'all were part of near Ashdown, okay, which is big boy territory. You lot have ventured across over towards Big Sandy, and into Cussfoot Fens. Now, Cussfoot Fens is basically the Holler's southeastern border. It's characterized by, quote, fetid smell, and it's partially from the many layers of decomposing mosses and plants, and partially from the dead that are routinely buried there in fairly shallow graves. And it's mainly because the Holler residents, mostly of Hogback Hills and to the east, believe that the mud has special properties, right, and grants this deep and peaceful sleep to departed loved ones. So you all are kind of venturing eastward, and we kind of see like this sort of montage, right, of the four of them all moving up and down Big Sandy, kind of using it to travel a bit northward on the western side. And we have this weird moment where they're all kind of hunting down quail or thrush, and they're like getting these little birds and putting them in a bucket. It doesn't really make sense for a while, and then we see, like, shortly thereafter, we see them handing that big old rickety bucket over to this fairly pale looking fella named old Albin Taylor, he's a muck covered son of a bitch, and he takes him for him. He's got this like gleeful smile on, and he ferries you right across. And it's a strange ride, but you're there and you're kind of whistling here and there, and and the waters of Big Sandy are kind of washing around you. But eventually, he dumps you on the eastern side. You look back, you see him like gleefully whistling like an old like no old man should, putting all the crows like into this potato sack and then just heading back over the water. But you all go kind of searching around, looking for trails and paths or something like that. And effectively, you're essentially looking for a road, because you're trying to get to a place called Almarine, which is the closest thing to a village in the Cussfoot Fens. So there's a bunch of trails and paths and stuff that you can follow, kind of meander up and down Big Sandy on the eastern side, and you can see that there's all the smells to start hitting you, and so you just kind of feel this sort of awful scent kind of hit your nose. You can hear like the croaks of frogs. I got this. Croaks of frogs just start like kind of echoing throughout, and like the hoot or screech of some kind of owl as they're kind of wafting in and out. You look off into the shadows, and it's darker than normal here, and the kind of the eeriness of the place just makes this whole kind of travel feeling kind of awkward. Now, the reason you're out this way is that before you left the Hogback Hills, before you left Ashdown, you heard gossip at a speakeasy that the residents of Almarine, they've been dealing with some trouble. And it's been suggested to you all, to whoever, you have allies back there, that if you could lend assistance to them, these strange swamp folk that need this assistance, you might be able to win their aid in the scraps that are to come against the big boys. So you're kind of wandering on out here and seeing if you can lend some aid, figuring out what exactly is going on. Now, the source of that trouble seems to be a sinkhole that just keeps growing and growing, bigger and bigger each day. And it's soon apparently going to consume the graveyard, which, from what you heard, is going to interrupt the peaceful sleep of loved ones, and it is honestly probably going to gorge them down closer to hell. And so that's kind of an alarming factor here. And so maybe you can give them a hand. So as we're like montage and walking down this path, I'm going to ask you 4 questions, one per person. So just volunteer if you want to be this person. I'm just going to get a couple notes down. Maybe I'll refer to them later. Maybe I won't. Someone's nursing an injury from this previous gig you were on. Like as everyone's walking down, that someone's nursing a particular injury. I want to know who is nursing it, what's the injury, and how did it happen. So who took an injury from that last job you did, sabotaging those supply wagons of the big boys?
I mean, yeah, you go ahead.
I actually almost picked all thumbs as a hindrance when I was putting Miss H together. So I'll say Miss H.
Okay. What's the injury?
So what were we picking up from there?
No, you were doing it. You were kind of you're hitting kind of like a little guerrilla tactics on some supply wagons for the big boys. They were mussing them out of Ashdown.
I'm gonna say like this sounds like one of those where you go to set a box down on top of another one and you just like pinch your finger, and you thought you pulled it out fast enough, but you didn't. So she's got a hand injury.
Oh my god. Like
I was thinking...
you guys had like a terrorist run. How'd you hurt yourself? Oh, I pinched my finger on these boxes right here.
But I love that the school teacher would be like, I pinched my finger.
Yeah. Cletus is bleeding down the side of his face right now. His tooth's just falling out. And you think this is gonna scar right here?
I've tried shoving it back in 3 times now.
Okay.
I told you to put that poultice on it first. Just don't listen.
Well, it tastes too good with the liquor. Tastes like long sweetening.
That's why your tooth didn't go back.
Dang.
So, as this is all happening, as like Mrs. H is kind of going, ooh, like kind of showing Cletus's finger, it's like, is this gonna heal? Someone in the group is harboring a bit of anger or disappointment or frustration or something towards someone else in the group. So who would like to be that person, and who are you targeting with that anger or frustration or disappointment, something like that? You already got one, Miss H. This is for the other 3.
I know. Be a ball of everything.
Maybe Mom Maud has a little bit of frustration.
Towards? Who towards?
Maybe Miss H, because her finger took her out so soon, and like...
Yes, that totally is.
Okay. For being a little priss. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Fantastic.
She's
All
sweet
right.
as cherry pie, but man, she's stuck up higher than a flagpole.
Like seriously? Like seriously? It's just a box. It's not even a spinner.
I'm the old crone.
Yeah. Okay. Next one.
That's it. It's a splitter that just won't come out, and you're just not hearing the end
Okay,
of this
it is a
damn
splitter. Oh my
She's
gosh.
she's just sucking on it, trying to
Yeah.
get the splinter out.
I have a very clear picture of Miss. You are not in the right section of the world, right? Cusp with Fens is like not for Miss H.
This is
Okay.
the outsider.
Okay, perfect. All right. Next question. Someone is feeling kind of indebted to another member of the party. Like maybe they bailed him out of a situation, or maybe they kind of pushed him out of the way and took the brunt of a hit or something like that. Someone feels kind of indebted to somebody else. Who is that?
Yeah, I feel indebted to Cletus over here.
Okay.
With my moonshine production, I get some interesting figures coming after me. Maybe he's
Okay.
able to fend off a few of those.
All right. So Cletus knocked out, someone, one of them, what is it called? Kramer Holt agents who are kind of coming looking for your still, and Cletus managed to take them out or something like that. Okay.
Yeah, man. You ever need some knuckles or even a driver, man? I'm your guy. You just maybe share one of them bottles from time to time.
And I think this is hilarious that the last one winds up as Cletus. Someone spent a not insignificant amount of time in the Fens. And so that would be Cletus. Cletus, you've been here before. Of the four of you, you're probably the only one who's really been here, any amount of time. So what was the nature of your visit? Why were you in the Fens?
Well, that's a good question. Do they bury like everybody here?
Just people kind of the southeast section. So if it's Hogback or if it's if it's Cusp Fens, yeah, people would be buried here.
Man, I just had this run and went terribly wrong. Had my old jalopy get a flat, nearly got caught by some agents, had to murder them, as you do. Had to find a place to get rid of the bodies. Bodies come here all the time, They don't deserve to be properly buried, but I don't really want to be caught with no bodies on me. So I'm a good person.
All right, so you disposed of some agent bodies in this very sinkhole that you're going to investigate further. Okay. All right, perfect. That sounds great. And so we're following the group, and they're chatting and kind of complaining here and there. Mrs. H is complaining about her splinter. Maud's trying her best to kind of hurry away, but she's just too darn slow because that old hip is just kind of slowing her down. Cletus and Theodore are having a gale time, and Cletus is probably filling you in on the last time he was here, what he knows about the sinkhole, and that's where we'll get to our first roll. So Cletus, give me a common knowledge roll or something.
Or
if you've got like a cult, you can roll that.
Yeah.
But common knowledge otherwise.
I don't have that.
Is that a Chuck? We got a
And
Chuck.
I'm just gonna let y'all know, Cletus, the illiterate sort that he is, he ain't got a whole lot of knowledge.
Oh man, that's what you should call your dog.
That ain't true. I know exactly what's going on around here.
Look at that! Oh damn! You should have called your dog Yeetus.
Can I do a redo and call my dog Yeetus?
Oh, absolutely you can. You certainly can.
His name's Yeetus now.
Cletus and Yeetus. Okay. All right. So what do you know? So that's not bad. You passed. Okay. So let's see. Couple things you know about the area. You know that specifically the sinkhole is called the Swallowing Ground. And it's kind of an interesting thing because when you were here, they like to throw all sorts of things into it because they just eat it up. Because you can throw anything you want into this sinkhole and it just kind of eats it up, and it almost sounds like it's gurgling, like its stomach is kind of messing around a bit in some sort of strange way. A couple other weird things about the locals is that there's a lot of practice of okay, I've been practicing pronouncing this correctly. Hang on. God damn it. It's in my head now. Haruspicy. So they tend to do kind of visioning through the sacrifice of little critters, like rabbits, squirrels, that kind of thing. And so they kind of cut through them a bit, and they like to read the signs and things like that. They're kind of a strange bunch out here. And so that's sort of the couple of things that you know about this area.
Maud's gonna fit in.
Okay. And I think that's about it. Because you don't have any folklore or occult, so I can't give you any more of that. All right. So eventually, you all wind your way up this kind of river path, and you get into Almarine. Now, it's a fairly soggy, mossy village where, like, the murky waters of the Fens are still kind of finding their way in between some of the roads and the paths, and kind of up into the backsides of some of the houses. And the houses are very small. And to call them houses is kind of generous. They're really like huts or hovels. And they all kind of look the same in some way, but they're scattered about here and there. And you can see that there's folks as you arrive that are kind of tending to their daily chores and such, sweeping, checking their gardens and such. Some of them are visiting with neighbors. You can see folks milling about. There are also like simple torches and lanterns that are kind of set up here and there, but not quite like as not that bright, but it gives enough to kind of move around. We should say, by the way, that it's dark. Like the otherness that sort of surrounds the Holler, like it kind of creates a more darkening vibe. It never really feels fully bright in Holler. It's more like the best it gets is sort of like a dusk light. You know, it doesn't really get much lighter than that. But and you can tell that there's like this gray-green haze. It's been following you all throughout your path here, and it's even here, kind of wafting, kind of between some of the homes. You also notice, and this is probably something, Cletus, you noticed too, but you never quite asked the question last time you were here. They got all these little shrines and symbols everywhere that have to do with owls. Like it's really peculiar. Like the door, some of the doors, you can see they got these carved owl eyes, like into the wood. Other places, there's like these crafted owl houses that are hanging up on like what looks like the remain of these gnarled trees. And then you've got these like whittled owls that are standing sentinel in like these little fern gardens, or like nailed and perched on a roof here or there. And you also see like insects are swarming about like this discarded critter, you know, these critter parts and stuff, almost like trash day. Everyone kind of put their critter parts out to the side of the road or something. And there's like these periodic like whoos and screeches every now and then from owls unseen, right? Like, cause you know they're here, but you can't quite see them. And there's also this kind of like foul wind and like a periodic pluck of a banjo that's coming from somewhere within the hovels. And then there's the northern edge of town, like the northeastern edge, which is where that sinkhole is. At least where the edge of the sinkhole starts, Cletus. And yeah, so you guys have made it to Almarine. You know your job here is to kind of suss out what's going on. What would you all like to do once you get here?
I'd
So
say we're all feeling a bit parched. Wouldn't you?
Yes, ma'am.
This finger, I feel like it's twice the size it was when we left out this morning. I mean, it's just...
You know, I think you're right. I think at this point, the only thing left to do is just chop it off before gangrene sets
I
in.
will do it if you would like.
It's just going to take some time, right? These things, they work out on their own, I think. It's just, oh my goodness, it just can't work its way out fast enough.
It might be you get yourself some sort of tree booger up in there and it'll just take over.
Well, I sure hope not. I mean, it's gonna interfere with some of my music lessons if I can't, use these digits here. They're very important to my work.
Like, Maud will just kind of like sigh, and she'll like lean over to Theodore and whisper, "She's delicate." And then, well, I'm sorry about your finger, but I'm gonna go find some water hole to go get a drink from. And is there like some...
It ain't a town. This is a series of hovels. So as you look around, there's not like there's places of business. This just looks like a bunch of hovels here and there. And like you can see there's some people who have stuff set up out front. People doing some butchering and stuff. They're like kind of ripping apart what looks like some kind of water moccasin they might have found out somewhere in the Fens, and others look to be like practicing some hair spissing right there. But there's not like any big sign anywhere that says it. This is very much kind of a remote section of Holler, and it ain't anything like the city.
Okay.
And I would say that like the further away you kind of get from these places, the more independent streaks there are, right? So like these people probably are here intentionally because they don't want to be subject to like the company towns and like kind of work for the big boys and stuff like that. But yeah, you look around and there's folks here doing stuff, but there's no clear signs of what looks like like if you're looking for like a bar or a pub or something, you don't see anything like that.
Can I do a notice roll and just look for a face that appears somewhat friendly or interested in our arrival, maybe?
Yeah, go ahead and roll notice.
I notice all the things. It's a
Oh, dear
14.
God. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. I mean, as you're kind of moving through this village, you're outsiders, and so people tend to kind of look up and take an interest in you in a while. People are generally polite. No one's being like overly rude. You get a couple nods here and there. So a couple things you see this older man who's got what looks like about a dozen different squirrels hanging from different parts of his getup. He's got these overalls where he just sort of pin the dead bodies of squirrels like he's some kind of squirrel hunter. You see this one woman who's kind of off on her own in the corner of as you kind of cycle around some of these hovels, you can see that her house is like at some distance from the others, and it's got what looks like one of those big old owl like houses that's kind of perched up next to it. You can see over by the sinkhole, it looks like there's a big old fella and kind of a short woman that are just kind of having fun chucking things into the sinkhole. As you're passing, like kind of doing your walk around, you can see this very kind of short, stout guy, and he's got a couple people around him, and you can see he's kind of doing like arm wrestling contests. And and you can hear him. He says it loud enough for you all to hear, but kind of pretending like you all can't hear. He's like, "Oh, look what we got here. We got ourselves some city folk. Okay, come on out here. They think, okay, it's gonna show them what Almarine night strength is like." And then you've got another woman that you see who looks like she's got a couple young people around her. And she's like kind of teaching, like she's playing this banjo and kind of teaching them how to sing. And then you got this elderly couple, like right there, dead center in the middle of town. They got right outside their hovel. They got this big old table set up, and there's this whole pile of rabbits that they seem to be cutting through. And they kind of give you a bit of a nod and a smile, and they kind of whisper to each other when they see your group kind of milling about. So that's what you see.
Miss H would like to go and strike up a conversation with the individual that verbally noted our arrival.
Okay, so you go up, Miss H, and you see there's these stout, heavy-set, muscular-looking fellas and ladies all around what looks like a very large mossy tree stump that they're using as a table as their match, their kind of ring for their arm wrestling contest. And every now and then you hear a as you look over, and it's not just arm wrestling contest, but it looks like they're having a spitting contest too. A couple of them off to the side, and they're having a gay old time with it, kind of handing around what looks like some kind of dark jug. But he takes one look at you, and you're the prettiest thing that we've probably seen. He's like, "Oh, we got ourselves a city woman here. You get lost? You get lost, madam? Looks like this ain't quite the place for you."
Well, there ain't nothing say that you can't look pretty no matter where you're going.
Well, that's an interesting philosophy, I suppose, but I don't know if you looked around the area too much, but it's really hard to stay pretty when you up in this place.
Well, I still put in the effort.
Well, I guess you ain't been here long, huh? Because you've been here more than a day or two, man. You're liable to have some moss growing out of your hair. Gonna have the dirt all up your pants. Gonna have all sorts of sludge and smudge and shit all over your face.
And she kind of looks down at her skirt, and just the idea that she would be wearing pants is just, all right, I think I'll be.
And you can see, by the way, that your skirt is like already like a couple inches worth of just mud and sludge, and water has already started to stain it pretty poorly.
Sure. So I'm looking to maybe do like a folklore roll, just to see if I can share something that I know about this area, just to try to.
With this fella?
Mm-hmm.
You get the sense this fella is not the one who's impressed by knowledge, it is other sorts of demonstrations of strength and skill that might win him over?
Well, in that case, Miss H is going to actually call over Theodore
Okay.
and just say something that might be more of interest to you. Perhaps might be something that he's got in his flask back there.
He kind of takes a look on over at old Theo. Well, ain't that the ugliest son of a gun I ever seen? I tell you, it's like God flipped a coin. You landed on pretty, and that one landed on butt fucking ugly.
Well, I'm gonna be the prettiest thing you've seen after you have 5 bottles of this moonshine.
Kind of looks around. Everyone kind of laughs at that, and he's like, okay, I like what you're saying. Okay. All right, we can talk about this, but I tell you what, why don't you put your moonshine where my hand is? And he just kind of like puts that. I tell you what, we do a little of the old arm wrestling contest here for that there beautiful little bottle you got in your hands. And maybe, just maybe, I'll go ahead and let you in on a few little town secrets.
I'll take him up on his offer. It's like, oh, Cletus, I've done this with him a bunch of times.
He kind of looks over at Cletus like, yeah, I'll go ahead and go with you. Kind of sizes Cletus up. He's like, oh dear, that fella looks like when y'all shave a boar and put overalls on it? Oh my goodness.
I mean, he fell out the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. I ate the damn ugly tree.
All right. So, do you want to do so? He puts the arm down. So it's going to be contested strength test. So go ahead and roll a strength test.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Oh no!
I can
Okay.
immediately reroll, I think. with
You
the
can spend a
base.
penny. Spend a
Yeah,
penny,
that's
and you
penny.
can
Just-
reroll.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a little button you can see on the chat. You can spend it from there too, when it'll spin. The little tiny bottom right hand corner. There's a tiny little button,
Oh, yeah, I see.
circular.
Hey,
Okay.
5.
Yeah, there you go.
All
All
right.
right, let's see how he does. Oh, we both got 5.
Ooh.
And it's just this locked in this sort of like just kind of staring at each other. Sweat kind of. I don't know what happens when you tie, so let's just roll again. Sounds like fun. It's back and forth we go for a little bit. Yeah, go ahead and roll again.
Okay.
See what happens. Someone's got to win this.
Four.
Oh.
And then
My God.
It looks like you're gonna get him, and you're like getting all excited, and all of a sudden he just goes ahead and shifts his fingers just ever so much. He's like, I learned this from a pappy. It's called over the top, and he just kind of goes ahead and slams it back down, kind of fixes his hat, kind of turns it around
guy
backwards
has
a
he
little bit. Jeremy gets that reference.
All right,
and
you got me, and I'll bring out a bottle. But I warn you,
Okay.
this is more potent than anything you've ever had.
Are you giving him anything? Are you giving him one of your special brews?
Ooh, a special one.
Well, you
This
got
is
one
like-
that's like mind reading or something, right? Don't you?
Yeah, this gives like power ups or something, right? That I can use on them.
So yeah, like you could do mind reading. So if like your specific Shiner brew had mind reading in it, it would be an opposed roll, smarts this time, which you are much better at than strength, I believe.
Mhm.
And if you're successful, you gain one truthful answer from the subject about any sort of subject you wish.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
So if you
I'll
want to do
use
that.
this. Yeah, I'll use
Yeah.
this as some mind.
Okay,
mind
so
reading.
yeah, so that's like 2 power points. So just go ahead and roll that test. I think you actually have to roll a test for the mind reading thing. So
Okay.
click on your mind reading power, and it'll do it for you. It should roll it directly for you. Yeah, you're fine. Okay. So mind reading is an opposed roll versus the do. One sec. All right, so go ahead and roll. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and roll your smarts. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's mind reading is opposed roll versus the target smarts. Okay, so your roll is a 5. Are you cool with 5? And so now I basically have to roll smarts with this guy, and I have to I think I have to meet or exceed it.
Is
that right, Jeremy?
Can I lower this guy's
Yeah,
smarts?
it's a meter exceed.
Yeah, I think it's
Ooh.
meet or exceed. So I have to hit a 5 or I hit a 5 or above, unless you wanted to re-roll or something. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Ashley,
Ashley's got her stuff that she can do too.
All right, so one thing I will say about magic, by the way, is it's totally can do it. I have no problem. But like one of the things like is like there is the danger of doing magic brazenly out in public, because you never know where like the big boys have spies and people might run and tell on you because casting magic and stuff like that, that's something reserved for them. So if you want to do it, go right ahead. I mean, absolutely.
Maybe not for this, but I'll keep that in mind.
All right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and roll this guy's smarts, which is a D4. So I got an ace. I got an ace to meet this. I do
this
not.
man might be my kin.
Okay, what is one truth you want? Like, what is it you're looking for? As he starts drinking, he starts, well, this tastes pretty good. This ain't no cherry bounce, but it's pretty tasty right here. And he starts passing it. Everyone starts getting drinks, so you're starting to get random thoughts here and there, like I wonder if that bunny and if I can lance that thing, and like all sorts of weird, like really inappropriate, gross truths from some of the people hanging around him. But what are you trying to get from him specifically? Like, is there something in particular you're looking for as you're listening in?
Yeah, remind me of what we're doing.
You're looking to like you're digging into the situation with the sinkhole and trying to figure out if there's a way to kind of help prevent its expansion.
Okay. I'll just ask them, I guess, pretty broad. Like, tell me what you know about that sinkhole.
I don't even think you have to talk. I think you literally can just like kind of. I that's how I'm reading.
That magical?
Like,
Okay.
Yeah. Like you're kind of he's just drinking. And we can flavor it however you want. Okay. So what he knows is you basically get the sense from him that they're like it's growing, number one, and there's a lot of concern that I guess from him and from others that there have been people who have been like dumping bodies into the sinkhole here and there, like they've seen like just dumping bodies down there, not even doing like proper burial services or anything like that, or saying words over them or anything, and even like out in the fens, like late at night and stuff. And so they're kind of concerned, like, what exactly does that mean? Like, are these like no-name bodies down there somehow mixing with like, the proper people of the village, and whether or not they're like, is there something kind of nefarious happening down there? That's one thing. What else? Yeah, and it just seems like everyone just kind of like throws stuff in there and nothing really ever comes back out. And so it actually becomes a game and a competition at times where people just kind of toss stuff in there, and like it's sort of like a dare thing to see who goes and like is willing to toss the most stuff in there. But they tossed all sorts of stuff in there: livestock, furniture, things like that. But yeah, that's what you get from him. Okay.
All right, then.
All right. So while that's all happening, Cletus, Maud, what are you two doing?
Hey, Mama, do you think it's okay for Yeetus to eat some of these here things that done been split open? Or is that rude?
I mean, if the other animals are eating it, I don't see why not. Should I do a folklore roll to see if that's rude?
No. I mean, I don't think you had a roll for that one. No. I mean, they're sure. It depends how old they are. And it's also, they haven't been cooked or anything. They've just been like cut open, and their entrails and bones and stuff have been red and that kind of thing. I'm sure there's meat on them that's worthwhile.
Yeah. You just gotta be careful of those bones. You could choke on them.
Well, hell, I'll just find someone who's in the middle of doing them, like just kind of come on over after they finish, respectful like and whatnot. And then I think I'm done gonna fix to have Yeetus come over and just, hey, hope you learned something good there. If you don't mind, Yeetus here is my peckish.
So You go on over to like where that elderly couple is, like relatively center of the village, and you can see that they're like kind of been cutting through a bunch of rabbits and stuff. And then Yeta starts kind of going through the pile, and like the woman, this elderly woman, she's got white hair, she's got some scars on her face, and you just hear her say, "Well, I do declare, I don't think I ever done see anyone let their dog start going through our hair spitting scraps like that. But I suppose waste not, want not."
I do appreciate. I asked the granny woman over there. She said it'd probably be okay. Maybe I should have asked first. I'm sorry.
So you see, like she and her, you presume husband maybe or something like that. They kind of share a look like, y'all
That's
got a
when-
granny? Y'all got a granny woman with you?
That's
Okay.
when Maud starts to wander over. Cletus, I told you to start walking slower. My hip can't handle this.
The sad thing is we move at about the same speed.
It's the two you just come lumbering over, and you just hear the guy coughs up, dark skin, kind of bald head, and he's kind of got some sideburns, a beard going on. He's like, Lord of mercy, I ain't seen two people move so slow since they were little children trying to crawl across the darn fence, and they were kind of stuck in the mud and stuff like that. You two all right?
And
Yeah, man.
Maud's wrinkly. She's an old lady, and she just looks at him and she's like, it's a little rude to be speaking to a woman's age like that.
Lord mercy, I didn't mean nothing by it. I didn't mean nothing by it at all. And you hear like the other woman say, I do declare he says all sorts of inappropriate things at all sorts of times. I tell you, I don't know why I done married him, but I did. I do declare it's probably one of the worst decisions I ever made in my life. So, but such as it is. Husbands. Yeah. One of the things I've had my eye on for quite some time is something they call a widowing. And she kind of looks over and she's kind of like cackles at him, and he's like, Lord mercy, I don't want to go. No, I ain't getting in this conversation. Kind of hands up, like, I give up. Whatever you say.
See, that's a smart man right there.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
So she leans in. She's like, well, I didn't catch your name there. My name's I do declare conjure.
My name is Maud. It's nice to meet you.
Well, pleasure to meet you, Ma. This here is my husband over here, Lord of Mercy Conjure, and not often we get a granny woman coming in off the big sandy, but pleasure to see you. I tell you what, I downright think this might be what's that word I'm thinking for, darling? Well, Lord of mercy, I don't quite know what you're thinking, because we don't share a brain like that. You always tell me I can never anticipate your wants and your needs and stuff. I do declare I only asked you a simple question. And they just kind of go on like this for a little while. And she's like, oh, you know what? I think it precious. That's what it is. This is just wonderful timing. Yeah. Something kind of strange has been happening here, and then the four of you come stumbling in. One of you's a granny woman. Why? I tell you, this is like ordained. Something like that.
Anything else strange happening other than that sinkhole just getting bigger?
So that right there, I do declare it's a problem. That sinkhole keeps
I
getting
agree.
bigger and bigger, and I reckon something bad is about to happen. We both do. Now, we gone through about a dozen rabbits thus far and ain't got no valuable vision whatsoever. And I'll be honest with you, we probably need something a might bit bigger, so we get a proper vision with proper directions and kind of sussing out exactly what's going on. But old Lordy mercy.
Eat us away.
Oh no, we wouldn't do nothing to that poor little fella. No, nothing like that. Look, there's plenty of things out in the fens, but Lordy mercy over here. Well, you take a look at him, he ain't killing nothing. You look over at him, he's just like this frail, kind of older guy, he kind of moving around, like you could tell he's got bad hips, bad legs, stuff. She's probably not wrong when she says that she's a widowing soon, right? And she herself is kind of pushing in age as well. But I'll tell you what, you want them scraps? I'm gonna give you them scraps, and we got some more. Give them to you, give them to the dog. You do us a favor, if you don't mind.
Yeah, what are you looking for?
All right.
Well, I do. We can. What's that phrase? Kill two birds with one stone, I suppose. Yeah, something like that. Well, if y'all could head out into the fans, maybe find us something a bit bigger, because you see, the nature of hair spicing, is such that the bigger, more powerful the creature you get, kind of the clearer and the more informative of a vision it'll supply. These tiny little rabbits ain't nothing, and we ain't gonna do nothing to your dog. You don't gotta worry about that. But I tell you what, if you could possibly get on out there, find I do declare a proper ground rooting, mud snorting animal. Something of a profligate filth, I would say. To get a proper oracular read.
Yeah, that would be my pleasure.
I can't see any fault in that reasoning.
I'd love to see a reading happening.
Oh, sure. I sensed in you that you got a little bit of the talent. Yeah. Maybe I could show you a thing or two. And then he comes up and he's like, Lord of mercy, we got things to do. We got sinkholes to figure ourselves out. We ain't got time for no education. Now listen here. And he kind of turns over to Cletus. If y'all want a good spot, y'all head southeast out of Almarine, by a mile or so into the Fens. You're going to find yourself the rooting tree. It's real easy to find, not difficult at all, because it's basically the only tree that's still standing. But right around there, all manner of things are out there. Find yourself a nice big fat boar, maybe. Bring that back.
All right. Yeah, I don't think Yeast has ever eaten boar before.
Well, once we're done with that, once we're done with our airspace, and you can do whatever you want with it. Absolutely.
Hear that, boy? You're gonna eat good.
And we need it alive.
Oh no, you can go ahead and kill that thing. That's fine. Just keep it intact, though. Try not to do too much mauling to it.
Got it.
All right.
Okay. All right. That's wonderful. Kick it over to Miss H and Theodore. What are you two doing?
Miss H is gonna ask Theodore, I know you use some of that for selling, but could I borrow a little bit of that moonshine?
Oh, now you want some. I always offer to you, but you always reject it.
I'm not looking to drink it, just, little alcohol in the moon might be a little salve.
Well, here you go. Don't know what you're doing with it, but...
She's just going kind of behind. She's just kind of pouring it on the splinter. See if we
for
can get
crying
some
out loud.
movement going.
You're wasting the moonshine. What are you doing?
It's just going to be a distraction for me.
So as the two of you are like behind one of these hovels, you just hear a like, and you see this owl just kind of like swoop from one of these big old like owl tree, like these owl homes that are like up in some kind of wiry old dead tree, kind of swooping past onto the roof of someone else's hovel and kind of disappears off into the distance, and you just hear like behind you like the whistle, like, oh damn it, not again, oh man, and like there's just behind you, there's like this, there's this sort of like clumsy looking guy, like these wide set eyes. He just kind of has this like downtrodden look on his face. He's like, oh man, here we go again. Last time I saw one of them, man, I damn near fell in the sinkhole there, and then my brother disappeared and haven't seen him for weeks. Well, that's a shame. Anyhow, hey there, newcomers.
Oh, hi, neighbor. You're having a
Neighbor?
problem.
Oh, that's right. Y'all are newcomers here. Y'all don't know much about them owls, do you?
No, I haven't
Either of you have folklore?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll it. See what you know before he gives you some more info.
I've got a D4. I don't know if Theodore's any better.
seen. No, I don't
You
have
can
any
both
folklore.
roll. If you both have folklore, you can roll it.
All right.
Oh dear.
That's an 11.
Oh my god. How many raises was that?
Just one. They both raised. So.
Oh, you only take the better of the two.
Exactly. So it was just the 11.
Okay. Just one sec. Just looking for one thing. Okay, so you know that like certain. I mean, you probably heard a rumor or two maybe when you were hearing the bits and pieces about like Almarine itself. Maybe you asked around somewhat for like what people might know here or there about the place. But you essentially heard that the owls are basically, they're kind of a subject of like fascination for this particular village, but also kind of concern. And like the way this guy is talking about it, it's like these large owls that you see kind of flying around tend to routinely fly over Almarine. And like they kind of move about like roosts all the way back in the hills at hogbacks here and there. And there's all sorts of superstitions that are surrounding them. And some of them are like positive, some of them are not. So like if an owl flies over your head on your way back from a funeral, your next day, you're going to be the one that's dead. Like if an owl lights outside your window after midnight, you'll probably be the next one dead. If you hear an owl hoot 3 times after dawn, you're probably going to be the next one dead. There's basically never anything good that comes from an interaction with an owl. But yet for some reason there's folks that seem to hold them as kind of like sacred creatures. And that's why you can see all these little shrines and stuff all over the place. But the fact remains is that he just saw this owl. You two just saw this owl fly by. And so like he's probably like, oh man, I'm going to be the next one dead. And that's what it is. I'm going to be the next one dead for certain. Well, me and 2 of you, but oh well.
Now, I mean, normally I would say let's don't go barring trouble, but I understand your thoughts on the matter. What's come to befall all y'all recently when these owls have been coming back?
Oh, you know, a little this, a little that. Old Misty Shires, man. Her boy has gone missing. You know, he's gone. I don't know. Some people say he just he won a little card game, got a little scrap in his pocket, and he just got the hell out of Dodge because she was just a little too much for him. But others say, you know, he heard that owl hooting that night right there when he was collecting his winnings, and then probably one thing or another happened. Too much liquor in his body, and then maybe he fell in the sinkhole. Maybe something out in the fens got him. Not quite sure. So that happened recently. My brother, about a year back. Well, yeah, he was traveling back from the ferry. Saw a big old owl fly overhead. He never even really made it back to town again. He was like crawling his way back. I had to go fetch him, and he had like face was all just sort of white and pale and scared. And he says he saw something in the swamp, you know, calling to him and whatnot. And then, well, it wasn't 3 days later, he wasn't just up and dead.
Oh, well, bless your heart. That just seems like just awful bit of time.
Oh, yeah, I didn't really like him that much, though. He always kind of picked on me, but, you know.
Well, it seems like we're going to be around in the area a little bit. We'll certainly keep an eye. What did that boy look like, the one that went missing?
Oh, I don't know. I think he got that, you know, like that fair color hair, like blondish or something. You know? Big old ugly beard. He thinks he can grow a beard. He's not very good at it.
I see. Well, it's something to look out for.
Yeah.
How's about how old?
I don't know how old. He old enough.
Okay. You said boy. I wasn't sure if we were talking 15 or 27.
Well, maybe more than 15, I think. I don't know. He older than me, and I'm more than 15, so... Wait a second. Yeah, more than 15.
Well, that gives us something to start with. Maybe we'll see what we can find.
Well, okay. You go on and do that.
So Miss H would kind of wander back over to where Maud and Cletus were.
Okay. So yeah, you wander back to them, and like on your way back, you hear you hear the sounds of like owls again as you kind of like creep out behind the hovels. Now they're like just kind of like echoing in your ears from time to time. You kind of head kind of jerks around every so often. But yeah, we'll say all 4 of you are back towards the middle-ish section of town.
So
What's
we found
next?
out that there's a lot of bad omens around here. Doesn't really seem like there's a lot of hope of things turning positive anytime soon.
I mean, we just need a good read. So we're gonna go get a hog from the Fens, and we're gonna do a reading.
Well, Theo and I just heard that there's a missing boy that might be out that way.
Maybe he got ate by the hog. So
Wow.
then we'll get 2 birds, 1 stone again.
Perhaps. We'll just have to see.
So you guys want to go on the hog? To all the Twitch and chat, just made a great joke. It's like, man, Delta Green was hard on Derek.
So
Oh
handsome.
goodness, poor Derek. Oh man, hope you're enjoying your comedy show. All right, so you guys head out. So the place is kind of, I don't know if I've done kind of an adequate job as you start heading further and deeper into the Fens, because you're heading kind of more eastward now. You've mainly lingered over by Big Sandy, the river, and then the town itself. And it's a plenty spooky place, to be honest. Like it's kind of slumped down on the edge of the known world, right? Because the further east and south you go, you just hit that big old wall of otherness, that big cloudy looking blight that no one wants anything to do with. And also it's filled with bodies, and it smells like it's filled with bodies. And it's just the air is kind of clogged up with like this fog that's kind of permeating all over the place and carrying these horrible smells. And it really doesn't kind of take too much before you guys start seeing these like strange shadows here and there. You hear the sudden eruption of like wings overhead, or something kind of splashing around in a pool of black water nearby. And all that talk, kind of omens and hairspices and all that kind of stuff, is maybe kind of weighing on it. Everybody go ahead and make a spirit roll.
I should be good at this.
Nope, famous last words.
Right? Oh my god.
Okay. Oh no, Ashley.
Is that
7?
Benny-able or no?
I can't remember. I don't think you can. Can you? You can't Benny a
I don't
crit
have the
fail.
little option
Can you?
for it.
Not a crit fail.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. You can't do it
unless like there are some special edges you can get that let you roll twice, and if something lets
Yeah.
you roll twice ahead of time,
Yeah.
that's a different story.
You don't have that, Ashley.
No.
Don't worry about
So-
looking. Okay. Everybody else pass. You need a 4. So, all right. Ashley, you've been overtaken with the hoot owl shivers.
Okay.
Let's go.
Good owl shivers.
And you just keep like hearing and seeing these owls kind of left and right, and every time you hear one, you just kind of like both the heebies and the jeebies just begin to just radically overtake you. So anytime an owl pops up, something's gonna happen to you. Is basically what we're saying here. This is great.
Okay.
I can't believe you crit failed that. Like no one ever
Yeah.
crits fail.
It's
I always see
amazing.
like crit fail. I'm like, oh my god. All right. So yeah, just you
I had a D8 too.
poor Maud is just like all this talk about owls and such is just kind of really starting to get to you a little too much.
You know, when my husband passed, I heard an owl hooting.
Oh my, that's awful. Okay, as you guys start to get a little bit further out and away from town, you see Maud. You look back. Maud's kind of being just a little strange and peculiar. She looks a little not quite as collected as she normally is, right? She looks just a little bit skittish. Usually she's just kind of plodding and moving slow and steady like the turtle wins the race. But like every little sound that pops up, she's kind of quickly looking out to the right and to the left, and she's kind of got this agitation that's sort of settled in here and there. But you all are out here to do a job. Who would like to try to hunt down and kind of find this rootin' tree? Who's decent at survival? Nope.
Nope.
Did anybody take survival?
I
I
don't have it.
upgraded my unskilled though, so mine is a D6 -2 instead of a D4 -2.
Okay.
So
Go
you're
ahead.
saying we're gonna let the school marm be the one who leads us on the hunt, the one with the splinter in her finger.
If none of y'all took the skill, you're just gonna have to follow.
Damn.
I mean, Jeff just put us
Oh
here.
no.
Oh! Oh my god!
You just get the look from Miss H that is just, she just kind of flips her skirts around and is like, I have told you before, do not underestimate what I know and what I can do. And yes, my damn finger still hurts.
All right, God's honest truth. I recognize talent when I see it.
Maud's just in the background. Do I need to roll an occult roll to see if I have like some sort of like symbol with me that I've made, like a talisman?
I mean, you can have one for flavor. I'm cool. Yeah,
I just want one for flavor.
Just take it. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So then she's just like whispering, and she's kind of being weird in the back of the group now.
Okay. I like to think that like Miss H is like, as she's leading the way, she's like giving the most encyclopedic like explanation of like boars and wild boars and how they act and behave, like everything that you would get from like a Funkin' Wagnall's encyclopedia or something like that, like the
Absolutely.
wild boar.
And she kind of like, she has that kind of like sing-songy teacher voice as she's doing it.
Now, if you look over here, you'll see some tusk marks at the base of the tree.
Exactly.
Means we're getting close.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeetus.
how is Yeetus doing?
He's just happy it can be. He might actually be following Miss H more than me now because she seems to know what she's doing.
Yep. So, at a certain point, Miss H, as you're leading the way, you start kind of pulling a little bit off of what looked like some semblance of a path. And as you do, you notice like your feet are kind of starting to sink now into the mud and into like this kind of like grimy waters. Maybe you're hiking up the tops of your skirts a little bit so they don't kind of track, but it's sort of like impossible at a certain point. You find plenty of like decent ground here and there to step on, but like it's certainly a very difficult bit of travel. But eventually you're like, the mist kind of parts like ever so slightly, and as it does, you notice like up ahead, darn it if that's not the firmest standing tree you guys have seen for the past hour and a half or so as you've been wandering about. And you reckon that there has got to be the rootin' tree. And as you get up a little bit closer, you hear the sounds of some kind of animal kind of snorting about, like, and it's like it's kind of hard to see. The mist is still kind of thick here and there, but you're kind of doing your best to sort of weave through it and kind of look for any signs of what like might actually, what might actually be kind of making this sound. And then finally you notice like literally right at the base of the tree, around what looks like a big old patch of mushrooms that are kind of sprouting out of a root that's kind of curving up out of the green and black ground. You see a big old boar is what you see. I'll go ahead and pull you on over here in a second so you guys can see what I see. All right. We'll keep you guys kind of up on the ridge as you look down, and you can see that there is a boar kind of right there in the shadows, kind of digging around at a root right now. Has not yet noticed your approach, so you guys should be able to see it. You guys can talk out what you want to do while I switch
All right,
over.
now. I'm under the impression this is one of those unique situations where you sneak up on it before it knows you're there. And you donkey punch it.
I mean, I brought us here, but I do not think my skills will get this job done.
I mean, getting us here is like, I don't do math, but I figure it's at least half the job.
Well, we'll go with half.
I'm not a hunting feller, but I can help you out here.
All right, if you guys want to sneak up on it, whoever is like sneaking up and wants to try to get the drop, roll stealth versus it's noticed. So we'll do a contested stealth first. So go ahead and roll stealth.
You and me, Theo. Let's show this stupid pig what's up.
What's that star on my skills? Is that anything?
It's a common skill.
Okay.
Oh. Anybody who's rolling is like literally moving up. If you're not rolling, that means you're staying back.
Yeah, I'm staying
Despite
back.
my rotund frame, I'm an Appalachian ninja.
So that, and I just lose sight of you as well.
Where'd he go? Just disappeared into the mist like some dark-winged duck.
Just cover myself in the muck.
Oh God, he's just
God,
like,
can you
he's
imagine?
getting it all over.
Ugh.
He's like Bill Murray and Caddyshack, just sort of. Oh
He's
man.
being birthed from the earth.
All right, let me roll notice to see if I get lucky. All right. Oh no. So both of you
No.
will go ahead and get the drop on them.
Nice.
All right. You want to explain the drop to them, Jeremy, while I get the initiative going?
Basically, if you can catch something unawares, you get a +4 to attack and a +4 to damage. It's
Yes,
pretty
sir.
sweet. So, like, if you want to do a called shot, that's not a bad time to do it.
Want to tell us all a bit about called shot while you're at it?
So you can do like a -2 to do something that would be like a disarming attack against somebody that was holding a weapon. Or if you just want to hit something in the head, that's normally a -4 to your attack, but a +4 damage. Add that onto your +4 from the drop. Hence, Donkey Punch.
So we'll say that like both Cletus and Theodore kind of sneak on down the ridge, get up next to that big old ugly branch in the ground, and kind of sneak up behind it, kind of get just within sort of like action range, and we'll go ahead and begin combat right there. So
Mel, were you sneaking up or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
You
I didn't think
rolled,
I
so-
didn't.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if you rolled or not.
No,
Couldn't
no, I
tell.
did not.
Okay, so Ma, technically you're up first. If you wanted to do anything.
Why don't I boost Cletus?
Okay. Yeah. So that's boost trait, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll do
Ooh.
your strength. So let me read it. So
So
this
you-
power allows a character to increase or decrease a target's trait. Boosting an ally's trait increases the selected trait 1 die type, or 2 with a raise.
Oh my.
So what is a raise, Jeff?
Raise is when you roll on the like you roll 4 above the target number.
Got it. Okay. So I guess let's try it.
It's like Witcher music. Closest thing I got to like, buy you.
Oh
Well.
my God.
That's a raise.
Yay!
I have the power.
Just like this big old bubble of mud as you've already caked yourself all over the mud. It's just getting bigger. It's like Swamp Thing coming out now.
So
Okay.
increase your die by 2 die type.
Oh my
dear
God.
Since it's a raise, it's for 5 rounds.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
Wow.
And like when Ma does it, like this is like right before you start sneaking down, she just claps you on the shoulder and she's like, "All right, boy, you get down there," and like that's how she casts it on you.
Granny, you said you wanted to see some wrestling. I'll show you some wrestling. Bud myself up. Can of whoop ass on that pig.
Miss H, we're in for a treat, a show tonight.
All right, Miss H, it's you. You're next. Technically, it makes sense. The two of them are kind of sneaking up, so maybe the two hanging back kind of get a chance. Is there anything you want to do, Miss H?
So what you're going to see, Miss H is going to kind of reach inside the waistband of her skirt, and she's going to pull out a throwing knife
Okay.
that she is basically just going to kind of have at the ready.
Okay.
So I don't know if I can do kind of like an aiming kind of thing, like for next time.
Yeah. I think so. Can you?
Yeah, there is an aim action where basically if you spend this turn aiming, next turn you'll get a +2 to your attack.
What's the range on your throwing knife, though?
Uh,
So I think it's like 3. It might be 3.6.9 or 3.6.12, something like that.
It is
A mile?
3-6-12.
Yeah. So if you want, you can move and then aim. And all we're saying, like, don't worry about moving and startling the pig or anything like that. Like, you're fine. So you can move up if you want a little bit, and then you can aim, and so you'll be in better range next time.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So I think so the range is essentially just the squares on the map. So 3 squares, 6 squares, 9 squares. Okay. And so if it's, I think it's at your outer range. You take you basically take penalties if it's the outer range stuff. Okay, Cletus, it is your time to shine, my friend.
All right, now earlier in the chat, it might not have been said out loud, but in the chat, my mom made it clear she wanted some wrestling to occur. So I got the drop on that. It got me that +4 to hit. I'll use that to negate the -4 to go for the hit, because what I want to do, I want to lock it in a headlock, and I want to suplex this pig. I'm going to do it. So let's see. Where do I change? Oh, I'll just click multi-action for the minus. Actually, no, because it balances out.
Boost.
Yep. So it's a 4 hit.
Are you sure you?
I'll Benny it.
Is that the 2 dice types up?
Well, that increases my strength type, but not my fighting.
Got it. Okay.
There we go. 6. That's what I get for getting. That's what I get for being greedy. So I come in, I put it in a headlock. All right. I see how it is. I try to come up behind you like it wasn't a gentlemanly thing to do. No, I think Yeetus will hang back. Like, Yeetus is an old hound dog.
Oh,
I've got
I didn't mean
Yeetus
to. I
with me in the
didn't
back.
mean to. Sorry, I muted myself there too. Twitch, my bad. I just said he's got one ornery boar as he kind of headlocks him and everything, and kind of throws off Cletus, and he kind of turns and looks at him, snorts a bit, and he's like, "All right, the swamp monster, let's go." And it is the boar's turn, in fact, as the boar, after Cletus charges in. Yep. What you got?
Oh no!
Man?
Oh shit!
Okay. So.
Well, that +4, did that come into play?
What's
On the
that?
drop?
Well, I was a big old idiot, and I tried to go for an attack to the head to give me some extra damage because I was greedy.
I see.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would have hit. Yeah.
Yep.
Parry a 7, so 7 is what you would need to have hit.
You
So
might
this thing-
argue that Cletus does not make good decisions. Got that D4 smarts.
It could be said.
So after the boar just kind of like shoulder chucks you off of him and sort of whips around, gets its tusk, and just sort of throws itself up like with this upward shifting headbutt in your direction, just trying to get right on up into your business. Let me see if I can do the whole targeting thing and do it that way. All right, there we go. Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna Benny that because I got 4 of them. Oh, baby, that was the best use of a Benny ever.
Oh no.
That's my business. You're in it.
Oh goodness. Why didn't that not keep rolling? That's or is that a D10?
I think it was a D10. Yeah, I thought the same thing at first, but I think it was a different die.
Oh, okay.
Fortunately,
That
it's
hits.
not a raise,
That's a D10.
thankfully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a raise. Okay, so just regular damage. All right.
You're deep in my business.
Wow.
Oh, damn. I think I would like to spend a money to try and soak some of that.
I think you probably should. As this
Wow.
thing turns around, takes a tusk, and just clear on and impales Cletus, like just rips him right up the inside of his leg and just kind of tearing through, making sure there ain't gonna be no more Cletuses ever
I've made a
again.
huge mistake. I think I will spend one of these.
Go ahead,
And then it's
do
a
it.
vigor roll, right?
Yeah, vigor roll for soak. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god, that's the most damage. Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
What you mean? I ain't entered it bed.
Oh wow.
Get yourself out of my business, you ugly ass stupid pig. Don't you go poking at a pride where you ain't even bought me a drink yet.
Just hold his head down, and you just kind of like ride him for a bit. He just sort of pushes you back, but you keep the tusks at bay. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I think you're fine. How many raises is that? Dear goodness.
That's so 4, 8, 12, 16.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. That's 1, 2, 3. Because it would have been just wound plus shaken. Yeah, you're good. Like, you take none of it. It was like, it looked terrifying from those of you up on the ridge, but somehow Cletus is just like hops off and he's just, woo dog, I didn't know nothing. And it's Theodore's turn. Theodore, what would you like to do?
Avert your eyes, Cletus. I got white lightning coming. Where I'm gonna throw a bottle of my distilled moonshine here with the stun effect.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Just read it out. What does it do?
Yeah, so I stun the target with either force or light, and the victim has to make a vigor roll.
Yep. Okay.
Or be stunned.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll. So roll the power because it's automatically programmed to do your So like a moonshiner uses distillery as its casting skill, so it'll automatically roll your distillery. So just click on the actual icon. Usually in your quick access, it'll do it for you. You click there. And so roll that. So as long as you're successful, this works.
This still gets the +4 drop, right?
What did the +4 drop give? Yeah, I guess it would, wouldn't it? I'm not sure.
It's still
'Cause
not
it's a
aware of
throne.
him.
Yeah, because it's a because you're throwing. Yeah, so yeah, take the +4. So you probably have to add that in manually when the pop-up comes up.
All right, let's see.
He's throwing a big ol'. Oh goodness.
Nice.
You got a 10 on it.
Okay.
All right.
So anything with a raise. So my vigor roll will be at a -2 because you got a raise.
Nice.
Okay.
So I'm gonna need to make a vigor roll at -2 or I'll be stunned. All right. I do have good vigor. Here we go. Oh, doggy.
Wow.
Oh my.
He's D12. So what does it look like when you chuck your moonshine bottles?
Yeah, I bring out this bottle. It's just so bright somehow, and then I take a swig of it before throwing it.
Of course. Little testing. Hey,
It's
then
like
you
a
stun
just
yourself.
flash bomb. Just like a flash bomb going off.
Okay.
Nice.
Big old flash bomb goes off, and you see just an explosion of like mud as like it just erupts right next to Cletus and right next to the boar. Cletus has already kind of turned his head just a little bit because he knows what's about to happen, and then the boar just don't care one way or the other because the boar is just a big old son of a bitch. And that's the end of round 1. Let's move on over to round 2 then. So we'll redeal. So for those of you that are new, we redeal. Miss H, you're first on the docket. You did your aim.
Yeah, Miss H is gonna turn to Maud and she's gonna whisper like, "That Cletus, that boy is a half bubble off plum, I do swear." And then she's gonna throw her knife at the boar.
Okay, now did you move to get closer so you didn't have like too big of a penalty?
I wasn't sure how much I could move, so I think I moved.
Your pace I think is 6, so
Oh,
you can
6,
move
okay.
equal to your pace.
So
yeah.
I can move.
Yeah, you're gonna want to. I mean, because if you can get closer than
3
you're at now,
more.
because yeah, you're at your.
Yeah, I moved
want-
3, and then that's 3 more.
Okay, because you want to get as close as you can, because the further away you're at, you got 6. This is gonna be.
Oh, are we able to do an action and move a little bit, Jeff?
Yeah, you can. It's
Okay.
sort of standard shit like that.
Cool.
This is gonna be a -2, I think, for your range, because it's gonna be at your medium range.
Okay, so if I can move 6, so the 6 was for my last turn.
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
now
yeah,
I can
that's
move
fine.
again.
Okay. Does that interrupt the aim? I play too many games. I know that's in other games. That could be UVG I'm thinking of.
I'm not sure if you can. I know you have to give up your action to aim.
Yeah.
I forget if you can still move or not.
I will look it up because we've got the thing on here. All right, so aiming. Okay, if a character spends your entire turn aiming a ranged weapon at a particular target and takes no other actions on her next turn, she may ignore up to 4 points of range, cover, call shot, scale, or speed penalties, or add +2 to her roll. Her attack must be used on the first action of her next turn, or the bonus is lost.
So I wouldn't have been able to move. So we'll just
Yeah,
say I moved last
that's
time,
it right there.
and then now I'm aiming. We'll just do that. So I moved last time, and now I'm aiming. So I'll be able to throw
okay.
next round.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Sounds good. I love having the rules in this. It is the boar's turn.
Oh no, that's not good.
And the boar's only got eyes for one fella. This big old swamp thing that's all over top of him. So the boar,
Come on, bacon strip.
boar was like just in its mind, its thought process, I was taking out all the Cletuses in the world and I'm gonna do it again. So it's going to target old Cletus. See how I do. It's only a 4. Is 4 good? It's a miss.
Nope,
Huh?
it is not.
I'm gonna spend a Benny. Do it again.
Of course you would.
Yes,
Damn.
I would. Okay. Then I will
Curse
go
you,
ahead.
Jeff. I curse your name.
Here I come. He does such good damage. Oh God, that's a terrible roll.
Oh wow.
Ooh, it gets me right in the belly. But God, that is one. It looks like a keg. You just can't penetrate this here keg. Some people got a 12-pack. Me, I got the whole damn barrel.
God, I'm so upset. I should have had him. All right, that's it for the boar. Getting very frustrated and ornery right now. But Maud, it is your turn. I love this. You guys are wrestling a pig in a swamp. This is the greatest freaking Friday night. Oh my goodness.
I didn't expect this to be the highlight of my day today, but this is definitely the highlight of my day today. Ma is gonna try and blind the pig.
Okay.
So
All right.
I can read that if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
Those affected by this power suffer blurred vision or near complete blindness if I have a raise. Success means the victim suffers 2 penalty to all actions requiring sight, earn -4 with a raise. You automatically get to try and shake off the effect with a vigor roll as a free action at the end of his following turns.
Okay. What's the range?
The range small, so I think I'd have to try and get closer, so I might not be able to cast it.
This range is small. That's weird.
It
Not
just
short.
it says SM.
Probably smarts. A lot of spells are based off either smart or
okay.
spirit.
Oh,
What's
okay.
your there you go. What's your smarts there?
8.
All right, so your range is 8.
Maybe I'll just move a little bit closer just to be safe.
No, you're good.
I see Yeetus is following you.
Yeah, I keep dragging him with me.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll it then. So you go ahead and roll yours. Make sure that's success first, which it is. No raise though. So success means the victim suffers a -2 to all actions. I automatically try to shake off the effect with vigor as a free action. The victim automatically tries to shake off the effect with a vigor roll as a free action at the end of his following turn. So I don't do it now.
But his next turn at the end, you can try.
Right. So basically,
Nice. Takes him out for 2 rounds.
you see like the eyes just kind of glaze up a little bit right there as it looks like
Get a little milky.
it just gets all this milky white, like cataracts just starts growing around it, and it's kind of having difficulty to see. Cletus, you're right up in his face. You can kind of see it, and okay. Very nice. Well done. And it is your turn, Cletus, as you see this happen.
Well, man, on one hand, you know what? I am just going to go for it. I assume this is a sign with the eyes going like that. It's time to get gouging. I'm just going to bury my fist in its face.
Okay.
Time to get to fisting.
I wish I should have done a pig sound. I don't have any pig sounds. You hear that?
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm gonna open up a can of whoop ass on this stupid son bitch pig. Start shoving my thumb up in its eye, grabbing up under the throat in a chokehold while I do. I think that might even be a raise here.
That is most certainly a raise. So damage with raise.
All right.
That barely exceeds its toughness. So it is
Did
now.
you factor in your increased strength?
I did. It
okay, cool.
rolled a d12 for my strength.
Hell yeah.
I got 7 on that, thanks to you.
It is now shaken.
I was really expecting to take you out, but at least you were overwhelmed by the stench of my armpit.
Its eyes are milky. You kind of start opening up a can, but this thing is sturdy as can be. It's huge. Like, it's like the size of Theodore if he got down on his hands and knees and kind of put a bunch of weird furs on his back and kind of crawled through the muck. That's pretty much how big this fella is. And yeah, he has a toughness of 12, so your 13 does exceed it.
So
Yeah.
he's shaking at least. So if
He
we
is
can hurt
shaking.
him again while he's shaking, we'll start actually wounding him.
Yeah. All right. So that is your turn. Indy moves up a little bit, following Mon. And Theo, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
How much damage is like unarmed combat again?
So I think it's just a straight D4 in this. I think it's just a straight D4 is the damage for
It's-
unarmed. I think.
Well, yeah. You have
Unless
to
you
take
have
a
it.
talent to even have that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just strength.
Well, no, I think in this game I have to double
Oh,
check.
do they have
but
something special in this one?
I think because there's not a whole lot of thing. I think that you don't get penalties
Oh.
for that. So I'm trying to remember exactly the rule, but I recall there being something that like they don't penalize you too much for it because basically
Oh.
everybody does that kind of stuff in here.
They don't penalize improvised weapons in this game.
Maybe that's what
normally
I'm
you get a
thinking.
-2 to attack with improvised weapons, but they took that out in this one because they expect everybody to pick up random debris.
I think that's probably what I'm thinking. Yeah. So if you want to pick up like a random rock and just roll that, that's fine instead. Because I think I probably
Yeah, that's
programmed
what I
it
was
in
thinking.
incorrectly. Yeah, that's cool with me.
Yeah, I'll just pick up a boulder and run towards the boar.
A boulder under the
Okay.
giant comes flying in. Okay. Yeah, no problem.
What should I roll with that?
So just roll your unarmed because it'll be the same basic. Because I think what is that athletics? I think or is it fighting?
Fighting.
It's fighting because athletics is ranged. Yeah. So it should be programmed in for your unarmed.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
there you
okay, it's
go.
working.
That hits. That hits
Nice.
with a raise.
With a raise.
That's with a raise. So now roll damage, but make sure you click the check box that
Raise,
pops
yeah,
up to
okay.
make sure it's with raise. Oh,
Nine.
not quite enough
Oh.
to actually. Do you wanna Benny that and re-roll that damage?
Ooh,
It's tough because you have to count
Yeah,
on a
it's-
6
Yep.
to.
it's really hard.
Yeah.
Big old. She got a critical
it's a-
success in her
I'm gonna do it
survival.
anyways.
Okay, that a boy. There you go.
Wait, I hit the Benny instead of the.
Just roll the damage again.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm using
no.
all my Bennies.
That's- I have all of his bennies now. You come up, you take that, you got this big old rock in your hand. This thing seems to be like, it's not only is it blinded, but it's obsessed with Cletus right now. You think the two of them, you're not sure if they're fighting or if they're falling in love, but you come up with this big old boulder in your hand and you just smash it right on top of his big old ridge back. And like, you hit it firm as can be. You don't even hear a whimper out of this thing from the hit. It's just, its hide is that thick. All right, third round. It is going to be Cletus's turn.
Oh, he's still stunned. Oh my goodness! Did I get a Joker?
Oh, yes, you did. Everybody take a Benny. I'm not sure if it does it automatically or not, so everyone should get a Benny.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
automatic.
it did it
It
automatically.
did.
Okay,
Nice.
perfect.
All right, so that's +2 to hit, +2 to damage. He is shaken. No, he's too hard. I'll just make the regular attack.
Okay.
All right.
This is only what, the third or fourth round, so you still have
Mhm.
mom odds. +4.
All right, so let's give it a try. Oh, come on. 6 doesn't do it, does it?
It does not. You
You
just
did
seven.
just get a Benny though.
I'll spend the Benny I just earned just barely.
Barely. All right, man. Here you go. Roll that damage. You need 12. Toughness of 12.
Do it. I can do it. I can do it. I could do it. I could do it.
Oh my God, those D4s! It's rated D4s.
Oh.
Oh,
Describe how you kill them.
I shove my thumb in its eye, and I get my arm under its neck and I get knee down in the mud, and I pick him up slowly. And I stand up, and I power drive that son of a bitch down into a root, and I punch it in the throat for good measure.
Theodore, you just hear as you're watching this all happen, and he's just screaming. I like to think Cletus is narrating it while it's happening, and then he's smashed to the ground, and you just hear a crack as like the neck of this boar just cracks clear in half. And once Cletus like rolls off of it, you can see it just sort of limply there, tongue kind of flopping out. It is in fact dead.
Did I do good,
done.
Mama?
Oh, that was wonderful.
That one's
Put
for
up
you.
a show.
That one's for you. I'm gonna just stay here for a second. I'm just gonna take a nap.
All right. So you guys, that's tough. That was a tough boar. That was a tough
That
boar.
was a tough boar.
All right. So
He
you
was
guys,
tough.
yes, he was. Okay. So you managed to get this big old boar, and is there anything else anyone wants to do out here, or are you just gonna go straight on back with it?
Miss H kind of wants to do a little bit of meandering just to see if we can find any like tracks or footprints or anything of
Oh,
maybe that.
the boy.
Yeah, boy that's lost.
Okay, you can roll something, but like that's like basically like needle and haystack, really, because you don't know which way you went, you don't know which way, so it's like whether or not you find tracks doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the boy or anything like that. But if you want, go ahead and roll survival.
Yeah. Unskilled.
Survival's the tracking thing. That's what it's for.
Yep. Yep.
She's done a lot of book reading. That's how she learned how to do all her things.
That's a 5.
Wow.
Now, I
Wow.
read in the book if the
Okay.
moss is on the right side.
You
Like
At
read
one-
all of like the young
Okay.
adult literature about like the kids that run away from home into the mountains, and so like I'm remembering like all the tricks that they use.
Just those railroad kid books.
so you guys are moving about a bit. You are kind of recuperating a little bit, kind of taking a breather. The rest of them are kind of getting the boar kind of ready to go, getting some kind of sling to easily carry it so it doesn't get all torn up on your way back. You start looking around, and you do find like what looks like at one point in some of this, like this sludge here, you do find what looks like some tracks here and there. You're not sure whether or not these things are the boy or not, but you definitely recognize the signs of like big old boot prints for sure. And you gotta follow it a bit, and you realize you're kind of getting pulled further and further and further away, from what kind of made for a path. Like, go ahead and roll a notice roll
All right.
as you start following these tracks out into the middle of nowhere.
That's a 7.
Okay, so as you're doing so, you don't really catch sight of exactly what was sort of making the tracks, but as you're, I don't know, good 100 yards or so away from where you all killed like Brother Root and Tree, maybe even further than that, you do catch kind of a strange light flickering out there in the middle of the bog. This kind of sort of green flickering light just sort of moving about. Kind of seems to be on top of some kind of mound, from what you can tell. And it almost just looks like a flying bit of flame. You just see, it almost looks like it's green torchlight, just devoid of the Holden shaft, and it's just sort of floating about here and there. Let's see. Do you have folklore?
You?
Go ahead and roll folklore.
I'll Benny that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll roll almost exactly the same.
Okay. You're not sure what the hell this thing is, but it's this bright greenish ball of kind of floating light, and you can definitely tell that like those big old sludge footprints were moving off in the direction of it, 100%, without any uncertainty whatsoever.
Well, I've been tracking whatever this is, and there sure is something around it that way. I assume Cletus is carrying the boar.
Yeah, I suppose I can do that.
This, you gonna be able to maneuver that up some elevation over that way?
I reckon I can maneuver whatever hell I need to do.
How
If I don't,
injured are you?
no, I'm just. I ain't tired. You're tired.
My mod's got some healing, right?
I'm
Yeah, I
fine.
could try to remove a fatigue level.
No,
I
I'm
don't
actually
think he took
fine.
anything. He's just
Okay.
RPing right now.
We're just flavoring it. Got it.
He did, like, the thing tried its hardest to beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
I assume he feels terrible, but he's just not admitting it.
Yeah.
I think he's
Take a-
too stupid to understand he's hurt.
And you know what, Cletus, because like you took like the hard route because you were kind of flavoring it up and everything. You know what? Go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a Benny. There you go.
Ooh.
Just from kind of playing it up a bit. Okay. If everyone starts kind of catching up to where Miss H is, if anyone's got folklore, feel free to roll it now. So I think Miss H already rolled and failed, but Maud, I guess you can give it a try if you want. Oh my goodness. It's
I'll
just an
Benny it.
elusive identification of something. Yeah, go ahead.
That's better.
Okay. All right. Maud, as like Miss H is kind of telling you she found something, this thing out here. This is exactly what it is. She kind of points you in the direction of it. You're like immediately like grab Cletus as he's like trudging up and just not to let him go any further, and you kind of get everyone to stay back. You're like, you recognize what this is. It's a will-o-wisp. So most of the time, these things are over in Fayfall, you know, kind of with all the fake creatures and stuff. But every now and then, you know, they make it out into different places, and they have a tendency to beckon men and women into bogs or caves or such, and they're kind of lured with some sort of weird kind of messages in their brain, and they are creatures of some kind of strange sort of ethereal, arcane type magic type of thing. The difficulty with you know that Cletus couldn't go up and punch this thing. You know for certainty, like he could do all that fancy stuff he just did to that boar, and this wisp is just gonna zip around him and ain't gonna do a thing. And if you got any closer, if this thing caught the sight of you and it had the notion to, it's gonna find the weakest mind amongst you all, and it's gonna be theirs.
So you guys just hear as Maud stops yelling, she gasps. And she's like, nope. We are turning around and we're going right back home. That's a will-o-wisp. I ain't messing with that. Come on, please, turn around, darling.
You don't want me to punch it, Mama?
No, your fists are fantastic. They won't do nothing against that. That sounded awful. We're just
Yeah.
gonna
Okay.
keep going.
I reckon I have done some fantastic fisting tonight.
Okay. Everyone
I'm
turn
sorry.
around. Oh man. Okay.
We listen to our granny woman.
All right. So y'all turn around. You work your way back to town. And you head over and you find that that couple again. The Conjures. So I do declare and Lord of Mercy. That is literally their name, by the way. There's many things I love about this game that because of our I do declare friend, a good friend, Sergeant Hobart over in our alien game with that. But you bring and you take this. Cletus, you got this big old board. You just kind of lift it up and just smack it down on the table. The table downright like nearly breaks from the weight of this massive thing, and you're probably exhausted at this point from kind of traveling this whole time, carrying this whole thing yourself, back of your shoulders and such. But the minute you kind of drop it down, you can see the eyes of like I Do Declare and Lord of Mercy just kind of get nice and big and bright, and they're like, well, I do declare. When I say to get ourselves a boar, I didn't expect you to get one just so meaty and mighty like this one. Oh my goodness. We're going to be able to predict every little which way of the future, I would say, from now until, 4 Sundays from now, something like this. Well, you all are quite the operational team, I do declare. Oh, goodness. Oh my God. Belugasaurus, great name, by the way. Thank you so much for that. Thank you much for those bits. Appreciate that. And thanks for joining us. And Adam, thank you. I didn't put a Holler bits together yet, Adam. I should do that. That would have been a good idea.
He wants a Benny for Jeremy.
That's what I said, because it was for Adams was carrying the weight, so I said Benny for Jeremy.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll do that. Are you down, Benny's?
That would put me right at 3.
It's all yours, buddy.
Man.
And then I'll say, yeah, we'll do 100 bits for Benny. That's fine with me. We can do that. We'll figure, as we play more of it, we'll do that for now. And then Belugasaurus gets to give it to someone too. So we have an extra Benny. If Beluga, you want to identify which character, I think Cletus is full, but if you want to give that Benny to someone else, or if you just want to make it part of the party and we can kind of use it whenever. All right, Jeremy, it's in your back pocket. You have like a fourth one sitting around if needed.
Favorite Cletus over here.
Oh man, this here is a fine Miss H. I would like to say I apologize. I have spoken in a derogatory way many times about your books, but you seem to know what you're doing out there, and I'm glad we didn't run afoul.
See, you just think that just because you read it in a book means you're not out there living, but sometimes the things you read in a book can help you in your living. And she'll like tell you about some like book about some wrestler and like techniques or whatever, and maybe next time you decide to go out and wrestle a boar, you could have a little technique behind you.
You tell me there's a book about how to wrestle pigs. You show me a book about wrestling pigs, I'll read that I'll look at the pictures in that book because I am illiterate.
Miss H will adopt her best, reading to kindergarten class kind of a. We'll make an afternoon of it. Oh, Jeff, you got some bits for you and a Benny for you.
Got a Benny.
Sorry, I accidentally I already took a bait away, and then the truth instead of a Benny. I'd like those iron long johns to be canon. Okay. Absolutely. Cletus, you have a pair of iron long johns. If anyone ever, I don't know what we're going to do. If anyone ever, maybe you have like extra parry if anyone makes a called shot to your undercarriage.
In the original version of Deadlands, they called it the Gizzards.
Oh, God. It's going to turn into Kingdom Death Monster soon. It's just going to be... It's all right.
I actually got a Benny too.
There you go.
No, I
Thank
don't.
you, everybody.
That's me putting...
Are you trying to cheat?
Oh, I wanted hype train, Def.
Oh,
that's
fair.
Hype train.
That's fair. I like that. Okay.
Adam gave a
thank
Benny
you,
for
Adam.
Ashley.
Aw. All right.
Man, Theo, I want to tell you, man, when you came in there with that rock and you were just like, bam, bam, bam on his skull, that was inspiring stuff, man.
No, you saw that?
That was good, man. You had Spitfire running in your veins.
But I still can't believe you took that thing out by yourself.
No, it wasn't. But Mama got me all pumped up, like I was full of that. And I watched you whopping and wallering him in the head with the rock, and it was you, man. It was you did it. I watched you doing that. And I was like, look at that son bitch, just run up with a goddamn rock. If that son bitch can do it, I can do it. You're a damn saint there, Theo. And I ain't saying that just because you supply with me alcohol. By the way, you got any alcohol?
Yeah, let me help you take the edge off.
And as you pop the cork off a jar, all of a sudden all those arm wrestling folks come up. Y'all hear that? What was that? Oh, hey, you're back. Everyone starts coming out from behind hovels and stuff. So while Theo and Cletus are getting their drink on and all that's happening, you can see I do declare immediately after, like Cletus drops that big old boar and she just gets to cutting. And she just, whoosh, this huge, the big old Bowie knife just right down this long stern center of the boar and just starts ripping out organs, just pulling the liver, plopping it down. The liver's like bigger than your head. It just, whoosh, there it goes. And she looks over at you, Ma, and she's like, I do declare, come on over here. Let me show you a little thing or two. And as you kind of move over, she starts kind of like situating the organs in such a way here and there, kind of moving it around, kind of making little shapes out of them, kind of stretching out like intestines and entrails here and there, kind of creating these interesting shapes, kind of teaching you a little bit about how to read the curves and the angles and kind of the color and all and the smell as well. Go ahead and make an occult roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. 11.
Did I raise? Oh my goodness. So Maud, as she's going through all this, she's holding things up to you and she's saying kind of concentrate, kind of listen, think, kind of try to get your head down in here and see, open yourself up to receive the message, receive the vision, be a conduit for all the strange and kind of disturbing messages that are wafted out through all the different planes and areas of the universes. You feel kind of this sense of sort of wooziness sort of overtaking you. For a moment you think maybe it's just like all the blood and the guts, but it's like, this ain't nothing. You've seen far worse than this. And then you see this just like, your eyes just kind of turn to a little bit of fog. Miss H, you're probably still nearby. And you can see that a lot like that boar, Maud's eyes just go whoosh, and they're just like this foggy white all of a sudden where she just seems far off here. And I do declare is kind of like looking and you can see she's got a big old grin on her face. She's quite pleased, like, oh, something's happening here. Lordy mercy's coming out. Well, Lord of mercy, I do believe she's having a magnificent vision right now. And Maud, you do, but it's an absolutely dreadful one. You can see the swallowing ground. This massive sinkhole, and you can see that it's getting bigger and bigger. You see the pictures of all the different townsfolk and stuff kind of throwing things into it from time to time, broken boards, wrapped up bodies, these hastily thrown together coffins out of all sorts of soggy wood that people manage to scavenge out in the fens. You can see people throwing like chickens that are on their last legs and getting a giggle out of it, and broken bottles, and all of them just eating and eating. And you kind of see this montage of these kind of like bodies just kind of getting dumped in. You can't be certain, but you're pretty sure you might have just seen Cletus in one of them visions, but that's neither here nor there. And then after like a little bit of time, you just hear and see like this strange kind of fluctuation of the ground of the sinkhole, this little pulsing and convulsing that's happening. You hear this gurgle, and then like a volcano, it just erupts, and you see sludge, you see dirt and grime, you see all this different trash and stuff that was thrown down all these different times, and oh my goodness, demons just raining down from the sky. Like you heard of cats and dogs coming down from the sky. You got demons left and right smashing on down all over this poor little village of Almarine. You can see roofs that are kind of caving in, people that are just getting blindsided by what looks like this long beam, and this, they're one kind of just getting their head clear, knocked clean right off by some thick waterlogged branch. And you kind of come back, and you're just like, whew, what the hell was that? You just kind of, dizziness is still in you. Miss H, you can see the filminess, the white eyes kind of go away. And you kind of steady yourself, Maud. And you got like, I do declare staring like, what the hell are you waiting on? What'd you see?
And like, Maud will like look at Theodore and she'll be like, Can I take a swig of that?
Oh, of course.
Okay. And she goes blind because it's still got the blind.
Oh, no.
Whichever one he's got, she just takes a swig of it.
Not another one.
And she takes a deep breath, and then she relays like what she saw, and she's like, "Oh, it's a portal.
And you can hear you just
Portal
see
straight
like
to hell."
I do declare, and you see I do declare. You see that the Lord of Mercy. They just kind of look at each other like, well, maybe, but one thing's certain: might be some demons down there, and well, I think the only way to get to the bottom of things, well, I do declare, is to get to the bottom of things. Someone's gonna have to go ahead and go hopping down in that hole. And I do declare I'm far too old to do it. And like, Lord of mercy, I'm even older than you. I don't think I can hop on down in there, but I mean, if a fella can bring back a boar this big without so much as a scratch on him, I figure that might be the best person, best candidate, you might say, to go hopping on down in that hole to hell.
I'm sorry. Does your elevator go all the way to the top? Are you actually recommending that we go into? She just said it's a portal to hell.
Well,
And
ain't
your
no
first thought
actual-
is we just go to the bottom of it.
But
I
there's
ain't scared of
definitely
hell. I
demons.
ain't scared of demons.
I mean, you
I'll go
can't
down there.
punch a will-o-wisp, but you can't punch a demon.
I can.
I do declare, this is fate right here. We got ourselves a problem. We got this growing sinkhole. We got all manner of terrible things that might befall this particular town. And who comes walking into our town right at the critical juncture? But a granny woman, a shiner, some gouger fella. I mean, then there's like this school teacher woman. But I suppose, takes all kinds. But you come back here with this is downright the biggest boar I've seen in these parts for quite some time. And that gives us the most powerful and accurate vision. Lord of mercy, I tell you. I think the only way to ensure that this sinkhole don't continue growing and swallowing every which way. You saw what's going to happen if nothing's done there, the school teacher lady. Nothing done, things just going to rain down demons all on us.
I think he's right here. And if I know anything, if there's something that needs fixing, then I can fix it.
All right.
Well, I suppose y'all gonna need somebody to show you the way. I can.
Probably. Yeet a
Take care of
seat up.
that.
It might be our last meal.
And I do declare, oh, that's fine here. And she just starts like ripping apart pieces of the intestines and stuff of the boar that she just got, just kind of chucking them down to Yeetus. He's grabbing them here and there. And then it's like, Lord of mercy, like the sinkhole's right over there. It ain't that hard to find. I mean, we saw Staub over there early. I think he threw one of his shoes inside. That poor idiot.
And I think we know where we gotta go. But these old bones, I need a little bit of a rest first.
Okay. And it's at that point that you hear a as like this owl kind of swoops past. Go ahead and roll a spirit roll. I forgot about
Oh
this.
no! Everybody?
No, just Maud. She's got the hoot shivers.
Oh, that's
Okay.
Out of
And,
5.
and like you just feel like a cold shiver like run down your spine at this point. Actually, it's -2 for you because you critically failed. You
Oh,
critically
yeah.
failed.
So
Yeah.
3.
So it's a 3. Do you want a Benny?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
You should listen to them damn owls, Granny.
Okay. Oh goodness.
Mama, I promise you, next owl that comes within reach, I will break its neck for you.
So you guys watch
Running away from the owl.
as after all this happens, she takes a swig of the moonshine. You guys are talking about demons and going climbing down in the sinkhole. And Al done like whoots on back, and none of you even see it. Like you just hear the wings and the hoot hoot, and the screech happening. I think I got it somewhere. Hang on, that's not it. You just hear like a hoot hoot happening from somewhere up in the darkness, and you look down, and Maud's like halfway across the village at that point, running away. You never seen her move this fast before, by the way.
Lord have mercy.
Bad news is she moves her full pace. Good news is her pace is shit.
Oh goodness. And you're also shaken, Maud. You can go ahead and click shaken as you're feeling this sort of tense. But you can see her she's running in the right direction. She's just running clear on towards that sinkhole at least. Oh no. Adam's been sitting. Oh dear.
Adam wants me dead.
Fueled by a
there's a
little
grudge that's been waiting a while.
moonshine of
I
Zoe.
apologize.
Ashley got
numerous
Adam, our
times.
friend Adam and Chad's character killed in our alien game, and now it looks like a year later, revenge is a dish best served cold. Oh god. Juggalos, Kalen. Bunch of juggalos down in there. Alright, what do you guys want to do?
Is there anything that we can do to support someone that is shaken?
Yeah, you could do that. What's that? I think you could just do a heal roll, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I can cast relief, but are we not able to rest before we go?
You can rest if you want. I mean, no one's preventing you from resting. So
Can
if you want to do like a night thing.
Panicked.
What's that? Yeah, I mean, we don't have to play out it mechanically. It's perfectly fine to think they can catch up. They can catch up with you and sort of like calm you down and such here and there. That's not like necessary. Like if this was in a more high stakes situation, that probably would be an issue. But
Okay.
here, it's not that big a deal.
Cool.
So do you want to rest?
I would like to before going to fight demons. What about you guys?
Whatever the hell you say, Mama.
At least just an hour would be good for me.
Okay, but you sure I can punch him?
Jeff, can we punch demons? Do I need to do an occult roll?
Cold roll. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, is there any sort of like trickery we need to do? Got like stomp on their big toe or?
8.
Okay. So that's with a raise. So it's gonna you don't really know for sure until you see what kind of demon, because there's all sorts of different kinds, right? So there's quite a few. You don't necessarily. I'm not sure if Maud would know every single type, but she might be able to learn a little bit of something about one or the other when she sees one. But you know that in terms of types, hang on, let me get this info for you. There are 3 categories. There's demons of the natural world, which are associated with like the landscape and natural features. There's demons of the inner spheres, which are associated with human thoughts and emotions. And there's demons of the outer spheres, which are associated with certain times of the day or seasons of the year, that kind of thing. And they all kind of have like sort of different powers, anything from sort of possession to just like superhuman strength. And some of them can do all sorts of manner of kind of strange like abilities, but they certainly can evoke fear in anybody who kind of goes interacting with them. So that's definitely, imagine that's going to happen. I would also say, mechanically speaking, you would know that, like, just from a sort of from a mechanical standpoint, there's both wild cards and extras. So there's some very, very strong demons, and there's kind of weaker demons, but there's a whole array of them. But in terms of physically hurting them, while it's possible, there are some especially ethereal type demons that might be a little bit more resistant to physical damage. You don't believe that it's like this ubiquitous thing, like every single demon is like immune to like physical damage. That's not the case. Very, very powerful ones perhaps, but not every single one.
So while Maud is resting her hips, she's giving us some learning.
Just going through.
Okay. All right, so you're resting because you want to recover your power points, right?
Yes, please.
How long did you
For-
say the rest had to be? I was about to call you Tommy. Who the fuck is Tom? You don't even know what Tommy. Cletus. How much?
Cletus.
How much? How long is a rest again?
It's usually an hour for 5 power points.
Perfect. We'll just do that.
Perfect. Cool.
Okay.
Hey,
So
yeah.
you can get that too, Theodore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I do declare, I reckon I don't feel super comfortable bringing my dog into hell and all. Do seem to have a regular supply of scrap here. Now, seeing if we survive and come back, I do want my dog back, but like if I don't come back, it's okay if Yeta stays here with you, and
I do declare I always wanted me a hound dog, and this one looks like a particularly heroic-looking one. It's got filled with spit and vinegar and all manner of story.
Sometimes you do have to squeeze that gland. It'll fill up on you. It smells awful, but it's a good dog.
Well, you saw where my hands were just a few moments ago, straight on up of that there boar's anus, so I don't think you're going to have much trouble at all with that. I ain't going to bat an eye at that.
Yetis, you're going to stay here. And Daddy's going to go punch a demon in the face and try real hard not to die.
All right. So you guys...
Never seen again.
Now, if you don't come back, do you want me to go hair-spissing on the on Yeetus here? Because now it is known fact now, if you do the whole cutting up and the hair-spissing on somebody's close personal kin animal, then that might make the visions far more specifically targeted, and we might be able. Okay, we're just asking. Lord of mercy, there's no reason to get upset.
Man, you go penetrating my dog in any fashion, I will come back from the dead.
I will. Lord of mercy, I do not want to penetrate your dog. No, not at all.
It's a good dog.
Yeah, yes, he is.
Don't
Yes, he
penetrate him.
is. Nothing like that's going to be happening. Nope, not at all.
Miss
Okay.
H is just over here, just like petting Edis and just sort of like earmuffs.
Can you earmuff the dog?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you guys get your rest, no problem, and if you get your rest, it's no big deal, like easy enough to do. You hang around, maybe take a seat somewhere, or you look for a place to maybe lie down, catch an hour, a couple winks. And after such time, take your breath. You feel a little bit better. You heading over to Sinkhole.
That Maud just kind of lays in the dirt, and kind of like a corpse, and she just rests her hands on her chest as she just takes a solid nap.
I do declare that is the strangest grinning woman I've seen in quite some time. I figure she's probably going to be going on her walk soon. That's what I do declare. It's about time for her to go on that walk, don't you think? Lord of mercy, I do. I think you might be right. Yes, darling. And they just kind of whisper back and forth here and there. Okay.
That's actually how we met. I one time accidentally nearly buried her alive.
Lord of mercy. Well, it's a darn good thing that you didn't. Otherwise, well, we might not have had knowledge of what's happening here. Yeah. I can see how one would make that kind of mistake. She is particularly still there, Particularly still indeed. I once had a cousin who used to get these little fits, and then after the fits, he would just kind of lay down and take naps for like 3 days. We thought he was dead sometimes, and we even actually went through the whole funeral process when we were mourning and such, and then he gone sat up one time. We thought he might have had a haint in him, but no, he was all fine. He was just like, "What y'all doing? Why y'all look so sad?" And everyone was happy after that, so I see exactly what you're talking about.
Miss H is just off to the side with her mouth harp, just
Okay.
making a little bit of music.
I don't have them. I'll look for mouth harp music. Okay. You wake up and you head over towards the sinkhole. Now, when you get over there, you can see there's a couple other of the Almarinites around. Here and there, people are kind of chucking things in, and you can watch that they chuck something in, and then like it gets shot back out, and you can feel the sort of gurgling here and there. It's this cavernous opening. It's probably about 40 feet in diameter. It certainly looks like it, and it's got like all sorts of sludge and black kind of dripping down the sides here and there. And you can see that there's like debris around. Looks like trash and looks like some stuff as if like stuff has been kind of getting getting shot out of it here and there. You guys, as you're starting to kind of peel around, maybe one or two of you are going over towards that kind of wide-eyed fella that you saw before who was kind of nervous with the owls. He kind of waves you down, kind of tries to wave you on over, but you take like 5 steps, you get right next to this thing, and all of a sudden, the entire sinkhole with one big giant burst. You see this bubble just grow up right in the hole where that sinkhole was, and just like a black like mushroom cloud just explodes. All of you just feel the earth beneath your feet just begin to shake like an earthquake ever so slightly, and then even much more slightly than that, like to the point where you're having trouble standing. And then the earth around the rim of the sinkhole erupts as well, and all four of you and those two Almarinites just go flying all the way up into the air, and you all are just flailing around. You got these big old waves of sludge. Looks like some kind of creature, the likes of which you can't see. One of them's got wings flying through, a couple more kind of following behind. You see what looks like old furniture that's flying through the air. That looks like a dead cow carcass that's just moving across like it's just chasing for something up in the moon. You see these things raining down as you're all hurtling a good 20, 30 feet up in the air, flying through the air at this point, stuff flipping down through what looks like the hovels that was just making up the Almarinites' village. And all of you come slamming down somewhere different within the village. All of you go ahead and roll 2d6s.
Oh no.
Yeah. And take that much damage.
What? No.
It's gotta eclipse your toughness, and then you can always soak if you want to.
I rolled 10.
How do you take that damage?
So how much? So did it eclipse your toughness?
Yeah, by 4.
Okay, okay,
5.
that's a raise. Okay, so you guys can soak if you want. You can burn a Benny, and you can roll a soak test. Otherwise, you will like if you've taken damage. If you've taken enough damage for your toughness and then a raise on top of it, you would be shaken and take a wound. But you can roll soak instead. So you can spend a Benny, roll vigor. This is what Jeremy did and how he survived the first attack. So you can do that if you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
me
I'll
too.
do that. I'm shaken. Does that change anything for me as well?
I'll say you can drop shaken, like, because
You
once
can
everyone
spend a
settles
Benny
it
to
down.
automatically get rid of shaken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And besides which, like, you had plenty of time to roll spirit, like, over the course of your hour that you at some point probably would have succeeded. So I don't think it's too much of an issue.
Okay, so if I rolled a 10 on the initial and my toughness is 5, and then I rolled vigor and rolled a 4.
Your 4 will reduce whatever wounds you would have taken by 1.
Exactly.
So if you would have only taken 1 wound, you're good.
Okay, because 5 is my toughness, and then there was another 5 on top of that.
So that would have been shaken and a wound, but because you spent the bendy and rolled a 4, you've negated that wound.
Okay, so I'm still shaken.
Yes. I think.
Well, all right.
Sorry, say it again. If you weren't damaged and you took damage equal to your toughness or like a few points above, like not a raise, you would be shaken.
Yep.
So like you would have taken the wound away and you'd just be at shaken.
So my damage, I rolled an 8. My toughness is 5. So then I re-rolled my vigor and I got a 4.
Okay. So you had damage plus a raise. So same thing. You're shaken, but you don't take any wounds.
I failed my vigor.
Okay. So how much damage did you take, and what's your toughness?
I took 9, and my toughness is 5, so it's a raise on me.
You
So I
are
would take a
shaken,
wound.
and you have a wound.
Is it passing the vigor, or is it the number on the vigor roll? That gets
It's
subtracted?
passing. Basically, your base TN on most stuff is 4.
Right. Okay.
All right. Let me bring you guys over to the scene.
This was a introduction to this.
Oh my god!
All right, let me get this set up so people can see it. Okay. As you guys have been hurtled and thrown through the air from this explosion of what in the book is described as a demon Kano, as it erupts.
Demon Kano.
Demon Kano. And 6 fully formed demons come hurtling out, and kind of a couple of them got wings and are kind of coasting, gliding down, weaving in between what looks like the rain and sludge. Then you got a couple others out, these big old mama jammas that are just out there and just kind of slump down into the earth, and they create these tiny little craters where they land, but don't seem to be at all particularly damaged by anything. but all of you are just kind of scattered about within what now is a much more ruinous village. As you can see, I don't have a separate map, sorry, but you can see like certain roofs have been caved in. You can see that there's tables and there's chairs. You can see there's people that are downright dead. That reminds me, could somebody roll me? Who wants to be responsible for the lives of the people? Let's see. Ashley, roll me a d12 plus 2.
Okay.
And so you can see there's people all over the place. You see there's bodies, dead bodies all over the place. That poor fella Staub, who was right there by the rim of the sinkhole, kind of waving at you, and his short little black hair woman friend. The two of them, you can see their bodies are just kind of impaled upon what looks like the kind of this broken board of a wall that kind of fell down from a hovel here and there, and they're just dead outright. A couple others here and there that are just kind of floating and like sinking down, almost like Maud was doing in a joking way. This guy's just sort of sinking down to what looks like a big old black puddle where the fen waters have kind of creeped up to the edge of the village. And we're gonna get into combat with these 6 demons.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I feel like an itty bitty worm on a big fucking hook.
I'm just looking at my little woman here, and like 3 of these things right here. This is not
Yep. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and. Could have been different. I'll talk about it afterwards. All right, there we go. Get you all on the thing. There's a lot of stuff on this fight. Okay. So there are cave demons and hill demons. That's what we have here.
Oh God.
All right, so this first one over here, as Theo, you're like, oh, you look down and you can see there's some kind of piece of like rusted old metal that somehow got wedged into your side when you landed. You're not sure if it happened while you were flying around through the air, or if the explosion around the sinkhole managed to lodge something in there, or if it happened from the fall. But you're like kind of broken down in this big old pile of debris as you're getting up, sort of shaking yourself off, feeling kind of confused, and you can feel great pain. And you hear behind you and you look behind and you can see that there is, I'll show you what it looks like. There is this, 6, 7, 8 foot tall demon looking creature, got wings. It almost kind of looks like a big old Batman of some kind. Is what's going on here. Let me share this. There you go. And you can see it's just like, got a dog head with like these big old pointy ears and these big old fangs and these arms that kind of rip on out, and these big old claws and these raggedy old wings and these nasty old feet. And you can see that it's perched up right on top of the remains of the roof behind you. And
slap my knee and go, oh, yeehaw, I think I've gone and found someone uglier than me.
Nice.
Take a bet, Eli. That was good. I like it.
I like it.
That's good. Okay, so this thing is going to kind of coast. It's going to hop down, but kind of use its wings to sort of coast down from on top of this roof and kind of land right next to you. And it'll take it's going to go ahead and with its big old claws, it's going to start slashing around down at you. There we go. Oh God. Oh God.
Oh.
Oh
Wow.
God.
This is awful.
And as you're trying to like take this piece of this piece of rusted metal out of your side, it coasts down and you kind of look up, kind of stare at it. Go ahead and roll a spirit roll, by the way, because this is actually a fear test as well. All of you,
right.
but we'll save it for your turns. When your turn comes around, you'll roll it.
Spirit's coming out. I got a 4.
All right, you managed to kind of like, you look at it and like that moment like where you're just sort of, you feel like your legs begin to quake here and there, but your hand like instinctively kind of goes for your bag of all that shiny goodness, and that kind of steals you a little bit. But then the rake of the arm comes down and just claws you right across the chest.
I can soak this, right?
I haven't even rolled damage yet.
No damage yet.
Let's see what the damage looks like.
Dear.
Oh God.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
Oh
stop.
no. Oh.
What?
Benny, Benny,
Jesus.
Benny.
You could Benny that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Benny that up. Oh God, dude.
Wow.
I mean, you could roll an 8. You could do it.
We're dying. Are we dying? I feel
It's,
like
We're
it could be a
dying.
TPK.
We're
This could definitely be a TPK.
We're done.
Yeah, so how do I soak? I spend a penny and then.
Okay, spend a Benny and then roll vigor. Oh God. Oh no.
no.
No,
Oh,
no.
no. Oh
Can
God.
spend another Benny to reroll.
Can he spend it? Yeah, he can spend a Benny to
Benny
reroll.
that.
I can Benny that? Okay.
Yeah, you probably should.
I
Otherwise,
need
I
to.
think
I'm pretty sure I just die.
because you're already shaken
I'm
and
already
wounded,
yeah.
and I
he
got.
would get 2 more wounds, so that would put him at 3 out of 3.
All right, so
Oh,
go
no.
ahead. That's your last Benny too. Oh God, come on, buddy.
Oh, I got 4. No, wait, I have a 3 because it's a wound.
Oh, no. Oh no.
This thing goes down. You reach down for the shot. You grab like in your hand, and then this thing kind of claws right through your chest. As you're kind of stumbling around, like what does Theo do? What is his last like action? What is his last thought? What does he say? Do anything like that?
You get an injury roll. He may
I
not.
s-
Oh, that's true. It is an injury roll. It's a good call. Thank you.
He may not
Uh,
die.
2d6s.
Okay.
You're gonna be incapacitated. I forget, man. I play too many systems. Okay.
Oh, he's
9?
probably good.
Roll another d6.
1.
Okay. This thing claws through your chest, but then kind of the tips of the claws catch like right on your arm, and as it kind of yanks the arm away from where you're reaching for your all your jars of moonshine, you just feel a crack in your arm as it just bends the opposite way right at the elbow. You have a you are so it kind of gets you in the guts, and then I guess it doesn't get your arm. It's more like right across the guts. Your agility is reduced by a die type, and you are broken. So we reduce your agility down 1 die type. So whatever it's at now, go down 1 die. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Okay.
Oh.
That's bad. That's real bad.
Cletus, you're getting up, kind of looking around. Where's Yeetus? Where's Yeetus? Where's Yeetus? And you can see over kind of to the northwest. As you look up and you see Cletus, he's like kind of barking over at Theo, and you watch just in time where this like creature just like claws right through him, and you can see his big old, almost like what happened to the boar, just this big old cut in his belly. Stuff starts to spew out. His arm kind of flails like opposite, almost looked like it kind of got ripped a bit, and he just kind of falls to the ground. And that's when you hear, and you look up, and one of those exact same creatures is above you, right on the rooftop that's still partially intact. There's a rooftop of these poor conjure folks who you don't see right now, and you figure, oh shit, that might mean something bad just happened to
scared
him.
of you.
Go ahead and roll a fear test, and we'll find out.
I am scared of you.
Oh,
Don't be
goodness.
scared. Oh, you are.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Okay. All
I
right.
said, God damn it, I am scared of you.
And so it coasts down, and it kind of lands right next to you, kind of sizes you up a bit, and it'll do the same thing. It'll just kind of claw down. Actually, wait. Let me check the distance of something. That's 7 paces. Okay.
This is real bad.
All right, so you see what it's going to do is okay. I'm going to use its Mind Piercer ability. And cave demons can pierce the minds of victims with a high-pitched scream. As a limited action, it can place a large blast template, which has got a 6-inch radius within within 12 inches of itself, or 12 pace of itself. So I can get everybody, I think.
Oh no.
And everyone inside the template is automatically distracted. So go ahead and put distracted. You can check that box. And then must make a spirit roll. So go ahead and do that. Make your rolls as you hear this like extraordinarily high-pitched screech.
That's a fail.
Am I still up for this?
I mean, you're incapacitated, so
Okay,
I think, right? Yeah, you should be
Oh, man.
incapacitated.
So we're
I think.
distracted before we make the roll. That's rough.
That is.
It just says and. It doesn't say and then. So everyone inside the template is automatically distracted and must make a spirit roll or take 2d6 damage.
Oh, I see.
So I don't know if it's in then or not. So since I'll rule it in the favor of the players, then we'll say the distracted. We'll just say the distracted doesn't apply on this roll since it's all happening at the same time. So whatever you rolled, add 2 to it. If you click distracted first anyway, add 2 to it, and then tell me how you did. So
I
Miss
passed
H.
with 5.
Okay, you're fine. Miss H passed. Cletus, if you add the 2 back, you're 5. I need you to roll 2. Ashley, you're in the range.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, you're good too. He's got a raise. You're fine. Okay. But all of you go ahead are distracted. So if you run out, you're now be distracted.
Okay.
So that's -2 on rolls. And Cletus, it is now your turn as this thing has dropped down next to you. And it's screeching.
Am I distracted too?
Yes.
Okay,
It's automatically distracted. It would the roll was to see whether you took damage.
got it.
I guess I'll just scream right back at it. Ah, 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 ah,
It's working.
It's working. Keep screaming.
ah. I'm
More
so
bad.
scream through the fear.
Oh goodness, that is a raise. That is definitely a raise.
That's amazing.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage. Oh goodness. Oh my god.
Ah,
Oh my god.
Holy God.
Just keep screaming.
ah.
I will spend a Benny to soak that.
It's worth
Oops, I didn't mean to give you a Benny. Sorry about that, Ashley. Go ahead and drop yourself back down to 3. My bad. I'm gonna spend a Benny. I'm gonna roll
Adam did
vigor.
Give me another one.
No, I literally just did it 14 seconds ago.
Yeah,
Go
but
ahead.
I didn't add the one that he gave me.
You
in.
got a max. You can carry a
Got it.
max of 3. Okay. So I'm gonna roll vigor to see if I soak anything. No, I don't. All right, I take all of that.
Ah.
Describe how you kill this thing.
He flies in my face and he
my
screams
God.
at me, and I'm so scared. And so I just grab him by his wings and I break his arms and I suplex him into the ground over and over again. And then I take one of them little claws and I shove it in its own face and I tell him to shut up and stop screaming at me. Where's my doggy?
Woof, woof. Oh
Yes.
god. Oh my goodness.
Holy crap, you one-shot it.
Okay.
Oh,
That one is most certainly dead. All right, so that one, I'm not sure if that's going to outdo it automatically or not. Yeah, it does. There it goes. Okay, so that's Cletus. Cletus, do you want to move or anything? You attacked. Do you
No.
want to move or anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Next up is... I don't know which one this is.
There's just so many of them.
Okay. Next up is this giant monstrosity that's right next to you. Cletus, this big old guy right here. Let me ping it. This is what's called a hill demon. I'll show you what this one looks like. And so you see this big old guy. He's got this like little loincloth. He's got this scrunchy face. He's got these like kind of rocks, almost as warts that are pelting out of his body here and there. These kind of veiny, like the veiny arms kind of moving on down. And he's got a belly even bigger than yours. and he kind of towers on up over you. He's got quite a big guy. All right, so this guy will... Oh, dear. What's he going to do? Well, I think he's just going to step towards you. He's going to take a step up, seeing how you just killed his pappy. And he's going to pick up this here tree branch next to you, and he's going to lift it up over his head, and he's going to bring it down on top of you. Because that's what he's going to try to do. That's a hit.
Damn.
Okay. And so he picks it up. Me smell. And I will roll damage. Okay, that's 11 points. So it should be... I think I can apply this from here. Unless you wanted to soak, of course.
I think I'm okay with being like I get hit with a tree and I'm just shaking.
Yeah.
I'll live with that.
Yeah, you get a free spirit roll at the top. Yeah.
Babies and ducks.
All right, so that's its turn. Maud, it is now your turn. You can see... whoa, where'd that roll come from? Maud, you can see right next to you, on top of this tree stump, over by the table where the boar was dissected. You can see one of these big old like half dog, half bat, half man. Too many halves is kind of there, and you can see just beyond where Theo fell down. I need you to first roll a spirit roll. This is fear at the side of this thing as it kind of looms up over top of you. Oh yeah, you're good. You're fine.
Awesome.
You saw worse. You saw these things before. They were in your vision.
I saw it in the vision. Yep.
Yeah. All right. What do you want to do?
I want to attempt to blind this one that's closest to me.
Right on. I like it. Let's do it. What does it look like when Maud casts? Oh no.
Oh, I want to Benny it.
Okay. Oh goodness. That's way better.
Oh, I don't know why it rolled. Oh yeah, because they Benny.
Because you
way better.
aced. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
So this time when Maud casts, I like
It's
to
minus
think
4.
she's got like just a satchel of potpourri, like mixed in like her pocket, and it's kind of like pocket sand, and she'll just throw potpourri at him, and that's how she casts her blind.
All right. So that was a success with a raise this time, which means all penalties it's going to get is going to be a -4.
Yeah.
As opposed to a -2. So let me put something on this guy to remind myself. If there's some kind of... I don't know if there's blind anywhere on here. I don't know. I'm going to put...
What does it mean by
heart attack.
modifiers?
What's that? Modifiers is if there's any other specific reasons you might have a plus modifier here. They're like if somebody supported you or something like that. Here or there. Oh wait, I guess heart attack is an actual thing. I'm not gonna put that on. Okay. What do you want to? So what do you want to do?
I blinded it.
Do you want to move or anything?
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of head this way because it.
Okay.
Hopefully, it will attack where I once was. Maybe, unless it has echolocation. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so you move and you're kind of like behind the table a little bit where the where that poor boar was slaughtered for the goodness of visions.
Just
okay.
Right in the entrails, smelling like piggy.
All right, Theo is up now. So what exactly happens on Theo? Why is stuff randomly rolling?
I guess auto rolling like shaken, even though
Yeah,
I'm
trying to
unconscious. I don't know,
unshake spirit every beginning of people's turns. Doing an
Oh.
automatic roll.
I didn't know it did that. That's interesting. All right, so he's injured and incapacitated,
I
right?
think I'm bleeding out as well because I
Yeah.
failed the vigor roll. So I have to roll vigor again, and
Yeah.
if I fail, I will perish.
Okay.
Theo!
I should have just healed you.
You
I
should
didn't
have.
realize it was that fast.
Oh no.
Oh, because I have 3 wounds, like auto veil pretty much.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you could always roll the 6. Okay.
Yeah.
You could Benny it if you have.
I don't have any more
Oh, you
bennies.
don't.
I used to not.
Oh
So I just
god.
bleed out. I'm bleeding, they're bleeding out. Moonshine
I'll
in
add-
hand.
Okay, I'll ask you then. What is like the last thing? What is the last thing we see before Theo's eyes close?
Yeah, you see him reaching for his moonshine, getting ready. Only this is almost takes a swig, but doesn't get to his mouth in time, and he falls.
And it's so tragic because it's almost there. You've almost poured it, and then it just falls to the side, and then spills through like the floorboards of this little walkway, this boardwalk, into the fen water below. The lights, the shining lights of our moonshiner go out in his
I thought I could
eyes.
heal you next round. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Another one of these hill demons is up. All right, I've got 3 people. This one's closest to Miss H. I don't see any reason why we should complicate matters. It's gonna step on over to Miss H. It's gonna pick up this here piece of kind of stone debris, and it's gonna lift it up over his head, and it's gonna try to smash it down on this here school teacher. I know it's gonna say tree club, but I like flavoring. All right. Here you go, Miss H. It's a 5, do you? I didn't target you, my bad. Is a 5, do you?
So it has to exceed my parry, right?
Yeah, what's your parry?
2.
Oh, yeah, it hit you. Oh, at least it's not a 6. With a 2 parry. Holy shit. Okay, so it's going to roll damage.
Ahmad and I are not built for...
Only 6 damage. That's a pretty crappy roll. How is your toughness?
5.
All right, so you take 1. So if you're already shaken, you take a wound.
Okay. Or I can do spend a Benny and do a bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can soak. You can try to soak this if you want. You can spend a Benny and then try to soak this so you don't take the wound. Yeah. And if you...
And then roll vigor.
Yeah, and if you pass, you don't take the wound. But if you pass with a raise, then you would no longer
damn,
shake.
because of the -2.
Yep, it's rough.
Damn. I take the
okay.
wound.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead and take that wound, and then next up it'll be old Indy.
Edis.
Does Indy
Where
want
is-
to do anything? Indy runs away.
Where is Yedis on the map?
Yedis is is northwest of you. You can see.
Yeah.
You should be able to see the spinning yellow thing around him at this point.
Okay. I mean, situation is dire. And there's a demon right next to Mama. Actually, no, wait. Somebody just killed Theo.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that maybe on occasion, seeing as Theo had said he and I had worked together, Theo and I were okay. He's maybe even given a couple scraps to old Yedis. And Yedis don't take kindly to that demon undoing his pal over there. So Yedis is just as smart as his owner. He's going to come running up, nipping at the heels of that demon.
Okay. I don't think I really statted it about, so
I have no clue what the stats should be. So.
neither do I. I don't even
okay.
know. Yeah, just roll
I'll just
D6
roll with
or something.
D4s. Or
D4's fine. Yeah. I would give you a D6 because he's an old dog, so like he's probably scrapped before.
Okay, I'll give him a D6.
Yeah. You guys need all the help you can get.
Yeah, it's an old dog.
Yeah, it's an old dog. Kind of lopes up, bites him in, and then he can. But like his teeth are kind of, it's that point where the gums are kind of overtaking the teeth a bit, so it's really not that strong of a bite yet. And he doesn't really have as much strength in his jaw as he used to. Okay.
Oh no.
Just remember, by the way, for distracted, it lasts until the end of your next turn. So Maud, so you wouldn't be distracted anymore. Let's see. Cletus, neither would you.
Mm-hmm.
And Theo, you're dead, so who cares, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, she automatically removed distracted for me.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of automation in here that I don't even know
Mhm.
because we haven't really gotten into too many crazy fights yet on Deadlands. All right. Next, you guys see suddenly swarming down from all of these different owl houses and what you thought might have been kind of a wooden statue of an owl perched atop of one of these hovels. You see it suddenly animates and moves, and this big old swarm of owls just sort of swoops down. I need Maud to go ahead and roll a spirit roll here.
No,
At
no.
-2.
Poor Maud.
At -2.
I got a one.
All right, you gotta roll. You gotta roll on the fear table at -2. I
mod.
think it's at -2 actually. As you freak out about this, like you utterly, it utterly like.
2d12s.
I think it was. There should be a table in here. Like you can roll on the like. There's actually a rollable table if you want to go into the roll. I think there is. Oh, here I'll do it. I got it. I got you.
Cool.
I don't
Thank
think you
you
can see
very
it yet.
much.
Sorry, I gotta. It's a 1d20 and then it's -2. You are distracted until the end of
Oh
your next turn.
no.
Okay.
As you're kind of like crouched down by this table, and this swarm of owls comes down, and what they do is they suddenly get right on top of this big old fella right here, and they start pecking away at its eyes and its ears, kind of getting in its face a bit, as it seems to be coming down to assist you all in what's actually happening. These are quite literally a swarm, and so swarms, what they do is they do 2d4 worth of damage automatically to whoever is on like the blast space they're on. So in this case, it's only the one. So I got to roll 2d4 worth of damage. Let's see if this, 2d4, and to see if that exceeds his toughness. I got a 4 there. That should have, that didn't explode for me, so I'll do it. I'm rolling this manually, sorry. That's a 3, so that's a total of a 9 against this guy right here. And this big old fella that has kind of gotten up right on top of Miss H, that is not enough to breach his toughness. And so he is like,
Oh, no.
these big
Oh,
old
man.
meaty arms and hands are kind of like, you see him like reach out and just kind of grab an owl, and you just hear it squish and just kind of drops it as it tries to peck away at its eyes, Miss H. But at least you have assistance. Next up is the blind demon over here.
Which
And
one?
the one over by the table where Maud is
yeah.
hiding.
Yep.
It's funny, Ashley, that you mentioned echolocation. The cave demon tracks his victims by a form of echolocation. This works well inside close spaces, but the demon has more difficult time in and above ground. So, like, basically, what I'm going to treat this as is I'm going to do a notice roll to see who was able to kind of figure out which way you went. And so, but it's going to be at -1 because we're actually above ground. So that's how I'm gonna rule this. So this is going to be. Go -1. Give that a roll. I gotta switch out my.
Oh, that's a 10.
Oh,
That
shit.
time of night where my Bluetooth headphones are running out of juice, and I gotta switch on over to the headphones here.
That was a high roll there.
How did I do? I wasn't
got
even
a
really
10.
looking. Well, hey, that's pretty good. So it sort of still senses you in that direction, and you can hear it kind of sweep on over, and it's like it's looking around still, like it hasn't quite fully figured out where exactly you are, and it's just sort of and you hear like this weird little kind of buzz coming out of its mouth, and then it will reach out and it will attempt to attack you, I think. So this is going to be on Mod. Roll a claw. But I do believe it still is going to have the -4. So because of his blind, so it's still a 10. So it's a 10.
Yeah.
What's your toughness?
My toughness is 5.
Okay. I'm sorry. What's your parry? I
My
meant-
parry's 2, Jeff.
Yes. So it's attack with. This is what happens if you let me make the characters.
Shit.
So it's gonna do raise with damage.
Oh, damn.
If you
I'm
would-
already shaken.
If you would like to roll to soak, go right ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do that. Sorry, guys.
You've got bennies to spend.
Yeah, you do.
We all can die.
Yep. It's a one shot. This is what you're supposed to do in them. Right?
So 8.
God. Yeah, I got one shot.
You did get one shot. I'm sorry.
How'd you do there, Ashley?
I rolled an 8.
Oh, very nice.
Randy messed it up. So
Okay.
too.
That soaks 2. So that would have been...
So I would have gotten a wound and shaken, but I was already shaken.
Your toughness is 5. So yeah, you block everything actually. Because if you got a success with raise and I had shaken plus wounds, yeah, it'll block both.
Cool.
So yeah, you managed to withstand that. Sorry, I was trying to reset my sound here a little bit. There it goes. Okay. All right. Next up, it is the last hill demon's turn, who I think is going to close in on Cletus, who has the only one who has actually successfully killed a demon. So this guy closes in, and you see, and like, not even looking, the other hill demon that had picked up the trunk just kind of holds it out, all like kind of smooth like, and the other one grabs it as it runs past, and just tries to smash it down on top of you.
I've made a lot of poor life decisions.
All right. Oh boy, that's a hit. It's a hit. All right, let's roll damage. That is shaking. You good?
Yeah. I'm clenching.
Okay. Okay. Miss.
Try real hard not to do unmentionable things.
Oh, Mrs. H's roll automatically went off. I guess that's what that is. Yeah,
No
so
longer shaken.
you are no longer shaken. Perfect. I didn't realize it automatically. That's awesome. All right, so you're no longer shaken. You can take your turn like normal. You are still distracted, so you will have the -2. But I do need you to make a spirit roll for fear, as this is the first time we've come to you. It's a very long tracker. Okay.
That's a 2.
That's gonna be a roll on the fear table. Let me go ahead and do that.
Distracted.
You're
Oh, no.
distracted again as...
Oh,
I already am distracted.
Okay, then I
now
think
it goes even longer.
now it's to the end, not of this turn, but the next one.
Okay.
Sort of
'Cause
the...
otherwise, you would have lost distracted, but unfortunately, it's.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead. You can take your turn.
Okay. So I have a throwing knife, but I don't want to throw it because it's the only thing I can do, and then I can't do anything next time.
Yeah.
So I am going to take this knife, and I am going to, kind of hold it where, kind of the blade is coming back this way, and I kind of want to go for like a sweep of the kind of Achilles.
Okay. So
Yes.
school teacher lady gets down. She turns the blade like the opposite way, right? So it's like kind of sticking out the other side. She tries to go down there and sweep at the Achilles. All right, go ahead and roll. I think you could just probably roll your unearned, and then we'll add extra damage for the knife. So,
So
ahead.
I don't get the plus that I would get from the knife.
well, the knife I think is just for damage.
Yeah. Do you have any skill ranks in fighting?
No, she's
Oh.
got
There's,
she does the unskilled thing. That's what she was doing.
Yeah, there's unscaled at the bottom of your.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, roll that. Oh, holy shit! Holy shit!
Wow.
Oh my god! Even with all of those negative modifiers, you still rolled a 9.
That decision to add, like, spend one of my skill points to move up my unskill was like the best choice I made.
Okay.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's a 9, which is a hit, but not a raise. It's got a parry of 6.
Oh my gosh.
So roll damage, and we'll say since you're attacking with it this way, take so it'll be just make it strength plus your d4. So it'll be your strength die plus a d4, and that'll be your damage.
How do I add in a d4 here?
I think you can do it when it pops up as modifier, as just putting in d4. If not, you can just roll it manually afterwards. Wow, that were so many 6s that you just rolled.
I'm just gonna roll it after. And then the d4 is 10.
Just enough to get a wound. It's got a toughness of 10. You just got it with that extra d4.
Yes.
As
Hell yeah.
you slash down into it, and you see it kind of the leg just kind of crumble and just sort of fall down to a knee. But he doesn't completely fall, as these things are very resilient And
Now I get to look even closer at its face and just see how ugly.
but
it
this
is.
spew of like this black sludge blood is now pouring out into the ground from like where you cut it, but you have wounded it. You have in fact wounded it. Okay. At long last, round 1 is over. And we come back up to round 2, and Cletus, excuse me. Oh Jesus, Cletus, you're no longer shaken.
All right.
All right. So let's echo in.
Whew. Oh man, I've got a Joker. That's awesome.
All right, what would you like to do?
Well, do I have wounds? I guess I do.
Sorry, I'm messing around with a few things here and there.
You got Joker.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess this thing. If I knew when I was getting wounded, I should have done a soak roll earlier. But nonetheless, that's fine. I'll take the wound. Feels appropriate. I've been hit with a tree twice. So I will, being the incredibly smart individual I am, try to run up that tree trunk and punch this tall sumbitch in the face.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
what I'll do.
Little technical difficulties over here. I'm working through. An 8 is good. That's enough to hit it.
Good.
Yep.
Thank goodness for that Joker.
All right, sorry. A couple small hiccups. All right, how'd you do on damage?
9.
9 is not enough to breach his toughness. 10
Wow,
toughness. If you want to re-roll it,
I do.
go for it, man. Yeah, only a 5 on a D8. You got this. There you go. There you go. There you go. No raise, but describe. You wound it. So describe how you wound this thing.
I run up the tree trunk it done hit me with, and I just start walloping it right on the nose.
Okay.
Just got my thighs around its neck, just punching it square in the face.
As you're
Putting them
doing
iron
it.
long
The nose
johns
and the
right up in
brain.
its snout.
Okay. Oh man. All right. Next up is the cave demon that's over by Maud. So this thing, I think. Let's see. Maud, you're blind. How long does the blind last?
I'm distracted and shaken.
No. How long
Oh.
did your blind cast on it last?
My blind. So
Duration, instant.
you have to until they shake it off. So they have to. Its duration's instant. They have.
So
to
I get a
do
free
vigor
free
roll.
action at the end of its turn. So I should have done a vigor roll at the end of its turn.
Yeah.
Okay, at -4.
This
Yes.
turn, like right now.
So the
'Cause I
success.
thought it happened last round, and then it was at the end of this coming turn.
She went before it. So success means the victim suffers so it's got a -4 penalty. The victim automatically tries to shake off the effect with a vigor roll as a free action at the end of his following turns.
So this is now the following turn.
His following turns, plural, meaning like every turn thereafter.
Until it's gone.
Yeah, I think it does get a vigor, but it's still at -4 because it was. Yeah, so I'm gonna still roll at -4. And see how I did it. Yeah, it's still blind. Okay, so at the start of this turn, it's still blind, but it has located you with its echolocation. You haven't moved since then, so I'm just gonna have, instead of having it try to notice you again, I'm gonna have it just continue to wail in your direction. If that's okay with you, Ashley, you're okay with that?
I don't really have a choice.
All right. So. All right, that's a hit. Just a regular old hit. Nothing special. And it will attempt to damage you. 5 points of damage. That's shaken to you. Treat that however you like.
So if I'm already shaken, what does that do?
So if you are already shaken and you take damage that is 0 to 3
Cause-
points of damage over toughness, you become... you take a wound.
Okay.
Think of it like a track.
How
There's a little chart right here that I'm following. Okay.
How many wounds is that, Mom?
That will be my second wound then.
Do you want to soak that?
Yes. Or no, I soaked the first one. So this will be my first wound. So that's fine.
All right, Long, this is what I'm going to do. I feel really bad you just sitting around doing nothing. We're going to say old Lord Mercy Conjure comes stumbling out of what looks like a big old pile of like debris, kind of looking around. No idea exactly what the hell just happened. And he's just like, I do declare. And I'm going to go ahead and give you control over him so you can get in on the fight on this. How about that? So let's let me give you ownership of him. All right, so you should have ownership of him now, I think. There should be a separate folder you can see him in.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, and he should be appearing kind of... Oh, he's not showing up. Yeah, let's put him like right about there. So he kind of got blown away from his particular area. He's kind of getting up. Go ahead and take some time to read, and we'll kind of give you like an action at the end. So he's got some powers and stuff. So if you want to read through them, and we'll give you a turn at the end. It gives you time to do something, or it gives you time to kind of catch up on like what he can do and all that kind of stuff. All right. So then that was the Cave Demon's turn. It's going to move on over to Maud. Maud, it's your turn now. And you, unfortunately, are still shaken, but you can remove shaken with the Benny. And you would want to do that here in this case, because otherwise you couldn't really do anything. You can only take free actions.
So I just spend a Benny to
Yeah,
get
just
rid of
spend
it?
a Benny and you're no longer shaken.
Okay.
Well, actually, you should probably just click that button. Okay, it did do it. Perfect. I wasn't sure if it automated. All right, your turn.
I'm gonna try and hit this thing with my sling with stones.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna move.
Don't forget that you are still distracted by the owls until the end
what
of this
does that
turn.
do?
-2 on your rolls.
Oh shit.
It didn't automatically apply like the other stuff did. So
Got it. Okay.
yeah.
Then I will. Oh god. I'll attempt to blind the one next to Cletus.
Okay.
One of the big dumb boys.
Okay. Neither of them have gone yet, so either one's fine.
Yeah,
One of them you do see just got like battered in the face and is kind of like stumbling to the ground and looks like disoriented, but not out of the fight the way that the other one on the ground is clearly dead.
Yeah, so Maud will move a little bit to try and get a little different cover and then attempt to blind.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's that
Not
-3.
happen.
Okay. So you just like try to focus and you reach out, but like you're just so like you keep looking over at those owls, right? And they're like hacking and pecking away at this big old monstrosity. You could barely see Miss H. Like, are they attacking her too? Oh my God, the owls are coming, right?
Are they ripping her eyes out?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
That's like her fear.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then it's which hill demon is this? This is the one over by Mud. Okay. This thing still is in the fight. These things have very resilient special ability, which most extras, once you take one wound, they're out. This one, they can take an extra one, basically. So they're not like a full wild card, but they are a little bit sturdier. It's going to... I'm gonna roll a 50-50 to... Actually... Yeah, I'm gonna roll a 50-50. I'm 1 to 3. It's gonna attack. It's gonna attack Miss H. 4 to 6. It's just gonna stomp the birds. It's gonna attack Miss H. Okay, so this one with the owls and stuff kind of flailing around. It's still gonna go ahead and take. I'm gonna give it like a -2 with the owls kind of still swarming on its space right now. As it swings down. and it still hits you with a 3. Right. That's terrible damage, though.
That is a
Absolutely
terrible
terrible
roll.
damage. As it's like, as it's watching you, maybe you're like crawling under its big old beefy legs, cutting the backside of its Achilles, and it's kind of ducking down and trying to hit you, and just like kind of clips you on the foot as you dive under it, and then it kind of stumbles as the owls continue to peck at it, and it looks around, lost for a second, swings wildly, and doesn't seem to do any damage to you. Okay, Mrs. H is still there. Theo, are you ready to go? Are you?
Yeah, let's do it.
Why don't you do it now? Just do it on Theo's turn.
So, oh lordy mercy, there's demons in my home. And then I'll start running out towards Cletus as far as we can go.
Okay, so it should be like a pace of 6. So if you just kind of move south, you can kind of roll. You can move like 6 squares. Perfect.
And then he'll start casting. You see in his hands, he's got pieces of that boar that he just brought over, some boar tusks. Starts casting, chanting this arcane protection,
Okay.
and he'll cast it on himself and towards Cletus.
Okay. What does that do?
So arcane protection, success with arcane protection. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to roll with that.
You actually literally roll the power because it's
I'll roll
it's
power.
it's tied to a trait.
Okay, so hostile powers will suffer -2 penalty to affect the character they're targeting
Okay, so they're just gonna get like a -2.
Nice.
on rolls and damage
Okay.
as well.
Right on. Nice.
It says it doesn't have a skill, so I guess I just pick one of these.
No, it should be. Hang on. It should be like arcane. Let me see what you got. Oh no, folk magic. It should be folk magic.
Oh, magic. Okay.
So, yeah.
Got a 5.
Yay.
Okay. So this is going to. You took the minus. You took the so modify additional recipients +1. The power may affect more than one target for 1 additional power point each, and so you're going to spend the extra power points to get onto Cletus. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Cletus, you feel like this sense of like some weird like kind of tingliness, maybe kind of sensation comes over top of you. You look behind you and you can see old Lordy Mercy has this covered in soot and sludge and stuff, and it's just sort of chanting some kind of mumbo jumbo in your direction.
Don't worry, Cletus, you won't feel a thing.
That's
do
what I'm
declare.
worried about.
Okay. So then we'll go over to a hill demon. Which one is it? It's the one right next to you. So I get a. It's gonna like they're just kind of passing this big old tree step back and forth as they just continue to hit you.
Did he unshake?
Is this guy? No, this is the other guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dismiss.
So, and he's got a -2 now to hit because of your arcane protection. All right, here we go. As he swings down at you. Oh, that's 10. Oh, that's another 10. Oh,
Oh my god. Wow. But there's a -2.
you just feel this intense safety come over. Like, I shall never die. And then the bam. I still got to roll damage. Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. Just shaking.
Shaking's not so bad, I
It's
guess.
a -2 as well.
Oh, it's -2 on damage. Would
on damage.
7 do damage to you, Cletus?
It doesn't.
Then you're good. It worked. It worked.
Wow.
It hit you square too. So that's what's.
27 horrifying.
It was like it just smashes you. You should have been dead.
Oh man, look at this shit. He hit me with a tree in my face. I lost this tooth before. It did nothing.
Oh goodness.
Lord have mercy to the rescue.
All right. Let's see. The one over by Theo is going to kind of coast fly. He's got a pace of 12. And he's gonna get right over to Maud.
No, please don't.
All right, Maud. It's gonna. Nothing's happened to this one. Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh goodness.
Oh no.
That's damage with raise. Oh God. All right, what are you at right now?
I want to soak.
Okay, roll your soak. Oh dear.
Come on, Granny, you can do it.
Okay.
Get rid of one.
You got rid of one. So what are you currently at right now, Ashley?
I have a wound, but I'm no longer shaken. So would I be shaken now?
I guess
or do
so.
I get the wound?
I guess you would.
It says none.
I mean, it says not. Yeah, it says none. So it says none. We'll trust that the people who coded this know what they're talking about, and we'll say that you did well, and we'll look it up later. And just
Okay.
keep this train going. It's pretty late. Indy, you just saw this.
Yes.
Yeah, or Yeetus, sorry.
I guess Yeetus is gonna come on down. I guess he'll just come down to the closest one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He'll just roll his d6.
Go for it.
Good dog. Good
What
boy.
a good
boy.
good dog. Now can't.
I mean,
Oh.
He's trying.
he's trying.
He's gonna get one. All he's got to do is hit that 6 once. All he's got to do is hit it once, and he's got it. And he'll roll a 6 at some point. All right, Miss H, you're up. You just somehow managed to survive this massive smashing attack with this big old broken piece of wall. What do you want to do?
So I am going to kind of circle back around because it was, kind of.
One thing. I gotta roll this thing. Okay. Roll a notice test, Miss H.
That's a 6.
As you slash at this thing, crawl under it, and it chases after you, you catch sight of where you had just kind of cut and released that sludge down onto the ground from its Achilles, and you can see the sort of grimy, like green gray skin is slowly beginning to just sort of stitch itself up, as if the wound that you did is not even doing much to it. Sorry, guys.
Son of a biscuit.
Oh my god.
But it is still your turn.
Is it still sort of hunched over?
It definitely seems much better now.
Well, I'm just gonna still do it again. If its face is kind of somewhere where I can get, I'm just gonna kind of come right in front of it.
Yeah,
And I'm just gonna.
I'll take a +2 on this because like it's getting harassed by those owls. Like the owls are just swarming around it.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, "You, my friend, have a face only a mother could love," and I'm gonna try to stab it right in its face.
Just jump up. You're trying to dunk a freaking basketball right now.
5.
It's not enough.
Oh.
Normally a 10 would be good, but it's not enough because of all
Oh
your.
man.
So you shouldn't be distracted anymore.
Yeah, because of what
should-
happened last time, I'm distracted till the end of this one.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I picked up another one.
Okay. Unfortunately, that you jump up, you go to stab it, and you can feel the blade make contact with its face. You get the perfect target, but it just kind of bends to the side. It's like these things almost have like little chunks of rocks and hard stone that's kind of creating this very thick dermis that's kind of protecting it a bit. Oh boy,
All right.
this isn't good. Now the one that is on. Let's see. This is the other one that is on old Cletus here. Didn't roll its shaken thing. Sorry. All right.
Stay shaking.
It's spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is still shaken.
Woo!
Okay. Yeah, I think I applied the damage incorrectly on. Yeah, I think I applied the damage incorrectly because I think I just straight up gave the one on Miss H a wound when I should have given it shaken.
Hmm.
Oh well, too late now. But it's shaken, so it can't do anything. It's gonna go over the owl's turn. The owls get an automatic 2d4 damage. They don't have to roll to hit. They just roll 2d4 damage. That's sorry, why did that not roll? And another because it exploded. Oh boy.
It was your first 2d4 was a 1 and a 3.
Oh, was it? My bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was a 4. Okay, so that's going to be a miss. They're not going to do any. Their damage isn't going to bypass the thick skin, but it's still going to kind of harass it and kind of cause an issue. All right, so then I'm going to, before I start the next turn, let me add Lord have mercy. All right, let's go to the next round. All right, let's hurry this up. Okay. Cave Demon, the blind one, will move on over. Actually, well, I'll do its notice roll first, right? With its -4 from being blind. And with a 3, will not be able to track Mod. But instead, what it'll do is it'll screech out, and we'll say it gets the 3 of you, but Lord Mercy, you're okay. All of you go ahead and roll spirit roll, and you become distracted, and you take you have to roll a spirit roll. As it just kind of screeches out instead.
Does that arcane protection help against this sort of thing too?
I don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah, so just take a +2. It makes sense.
Whatever I can get.
Yeah, it's a fail.
Oh boy. All
Got
right.
me once with that. Not
Mod
again.
and Miss H both roll 2d6, and that's how much damage you take. It's intense. Ashley, you're good. Miss H, your ears begin to bleed. So 9 points of damage onto you. You have a toughness of 5. So that's shaken in a wound.
Can I spend a Benny on that?
Yeah, go ahead. You can soak.
And then do I need to roll vigor?
That's vigor, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Oh,
Shaken
man.
and another wound as your ears, you can feel the popping inside of them. All right. Next up, it'll be one of these hill demon turns. Sorry. I'm going to say, yeah. This is the one on Miss H. Can he finish Miss H off?
No.
-2.
Take 1 wound.
I'm going to say -2 because the owls are still swarming around him. That's
Oh, come on.
I'm rolling well tonight.
Oh, man.
I'm rolling well tonight.
Oh.
Oh, God, that's a big number.
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh, no.
Are you
Ooh.
on Benny's?
The last one.
No.
No. No.
All right.
It did not take too kindly to me insulting it straight onto its face.
Roll 2d6s for your injury. Oh, God.
Two.
All right. So, unmentionables. Oh, God.
This is where you want the iron long johns.
So it, Melissa, it hits you in the unmentionables.
Right. That is how it kills me.
Oh, no.
So
No.
I'm trying to remember. I totally forgot. So incapacitated characters may not perform actions. Da, 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 da. Okay, so incapacitated by damage or injury, you must make an immediate vigor roll. So go ahead and roll vigor.
It's a 1 because of all the other stuff.
So that was then result in the injury, and so then you get in the. So let's do this correct. So like you just got it, just hits you in the unmentionables, and the injury is permanent. So If you survive this, we'll discuss what that entails.
I don't think I'm surviving this.
And you're also bleeding out. So
Makes
you're
sense.
dying, and you have to make a vigor roll at the start of your turn. And failure means you die.
So I am at 3 of 3 wounds.
Okay.
Oh man.
Oh, and your turn's before my turn.
Oh man.
All right. I think it is then Lordy Mercy's turn. Lordy Mercy,
All right.
you gotta help out Cletus.
He's not much of a fighter, but I'll back him up
Okay.
with some numbers.
I don't even know what I gave Lordy Mercy. I think I just gave him.
Fighting D4.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got
We got one
healing.
that's-
He's got healing.
Is Cletus hurt?
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got healing. Mhm.
I think you can heal from range.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, let's not get melee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll sneak around the corner, cast a little voodoo magic to heal his wounds.
Okay. Go
That's
for
how
it.
this works.
Same thing. It should be folk magic if it's not already in there. And then you can roll that.
It's giving me unskilled for some reason.
Try it now. Like you can open and reopen the sheet. I just added it in. Sorry about that. I didn't think he would end up having to come into play.
Yeah, this is a
You guys took a nap, so like this is what happened. You guys,
Yeah.
risky fight.
because you took a nap, if you would have went right there, you could have climbed down and had an easier fight. But since you took a nap, then it exploded because of the extra time. Also, what happens is if you would have failed your survival roll to find the rooting tree, it would have taken you longer, and that would have potentially led to the demon cannon. It's basically anything that would have any lingering taking time stuff is what
Got
sort of
it.
triggered it. That's good.
Yes, Evan.
All right, Cletus, you're feeling better.
What does it actually do, though? Let's see.
You reduce wounds by 1, I think.
Yeah, less than an hour old, which all yours are. Success removes 1. You didn't get a raise, so you don't get 2. So you remove 1, whereas 1 wound from Cletus.
So what does it look like when you make me suddenly unwounded?
I'm throwing guts of dead animals at you. And just use them in your wounds and seal them.
I vote for a Benny. He deserves a Benny.
Take a Betty for that. I almost just spit my water onto my mic. That was a really bad time to take some water there. Just throwing this. He's pelted pieces of dead boar on you, and you're feeling better.
That's wonderful.
Oh God. Oh goodness. All right. Dear God. All right, the owls.
Too bad.
Owls go next. I do get a D4 on this one. An extra D4. Come on. Ah. All right. 8 points. 8 is not enough to bypass their toughness still, but they're just gonna linger there. Since Miss H is okay. There's the roll.
Miss H.
It automatically rolls.
Oh no.
Oh, that's the unshaken. All right, so now this is your bleeding out roll.
Bigger?
This is a vigor roll.
You can do it.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's a -1.
What's Mrs. H last breath in her life? What does she do?
Miss H just says, "My mama said, always make sure you still look your best." And so she's still gonna just try to like flatten her skirt and just, kind of just fold her arms kind of neatly kind of over her belly. She takes her last breath.
God, that is great. I love it.
Man.
Nice.
Good looking corpse. That's wonderful.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, "Mama said there'd be days like this." I'm like, what? I hope Mama didn't say that.
Oh man.
All right, Mrs. H, you are
no.
deceased. Theo is deceased. And Theo, Theo's dead. Get up. Get out of here. Get out of here. Let me
His
get him
corpse
off.
raises.
Is he trying to raise on us? I hope not.
Oh, that'd be great. Maybe I picked. All right, Cave Demon's up next. Cave Demon. This one's fine. I think this one's just gonna go ahead and continue wailing away on Miss H. Or not. Oh no, excuse me, on Maud. Oh boy. Oh boy. What did I roll? 4. That's a
It's
miss.
a miss.
It's a miss.
Nice. Yes.
You just hold like
All
you just,
right.
Take it.
yeah. You hold up your sling. Kind of its claw gets caught up in the sling. And just a miss. Wow.
I like to think I grabbed like the hide of the corpse, and like that's what I'm like holding up.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. How did I miss? You have a parry of 2.
I don't know. Oh, cause is that the blind one?
No, it's not.
Oh.
The one over here's blind. I think I hit. I don't know why it did that. Oh, because it was targeting Cave Demon. That's why. I set my target on
Oh.
Cave Demon. Sorry, it hits
So
you.
that does hit, yeah.
Yeah.
Could have gone for some hot.
I was
cave
looking
demon
at
on
my
cave
tough-
demon action.
It just starts attacking itself. I
mean,
can't
it is-
live anymore.
It's blind, right?
No, this one's not blind. This one's
Oh,
fine.
It's not
okay.
blind.
This one's fine. All right.
No.
It's just a regular hit, though. It's no raise.
Just a regular hit.
Just a regular hit. It's 1 wound plus shaken.
Does that kill you?
No.
Pretty soon, Lord Mercy
Soon.
and Cletus gotta yeet the hell out of here. Okay, 1 wound plus shaken. Ashley, are you trying to soak or?
No, I'll save my soak. I only have 1 Benny left.
All right, so you take the wound. You
no.
are shaken. Oh dear. Okay. Okay, Cletus, you're up, buddy. Feeling better.
I do feel better, and I guess just invigorated by the guts thrown upon me, I'm gonna go to town on the hill demon, what's shaking and whatnot. So yeah, I'll go for the one that's already shaken. hoping that's
Yeah,
it.
go ahead. Sorry, I was just reading something. I love that. I love the beer.
All right. 13.
Woo! I feel good. These pig guts are amazing.
Is that a raise? Let me
I
check.
hope so.
Let me check. Yes, it is. Says a raise. They have a parry of 6. These aren't hard to hit. They're hard to damage. The hill demons. 9 is not enough.
I'm gonna spend a Benny.
You've
All right.
rolled so many 9s that are just like 1 short.
There you go. That'll do it. Oh god, that's 17 points. That's damage plus a raise. This is on the one that's already shaken. Describe how you kill this one.
So that last one, there's that miracle, right? It swung the tree down on my face. Somehow it didn't hurt me none. So this other one, I reach over, grab him by whatever little lumpy piece of hair or stumps he's got on his head, and I reach over, I grab it, and there's the root on the tree, and I just gouge its eyes into the roots of the tree. And I tell you, I'm tired of this stupid shit, and I want to go home.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry. That's the one. There you go. Okay.
Thank you, Lord of mercy.
And then next up, it is the other one that's right next to you that's not shaken. It's doing fine. Sees you kill its friend. Ooh. Bleh. Not do you know. And so it's just going to target old Cletus. And it's going to try to swing down on top of you. Oh.
I just got healed.
That's a miss.
Ooh.
This
That's my tree branch.
It's
No,
not-
my tree.
not possible. What?
He has a friend
I am.
instead of
It's,
Cletus.
it's too heavy because his friend is impaled on it.
he goes to swing it, and he misses, and like the body of the hill giant just flies off it.
Look what you did to your friend, you ugly son of a bitch.
All right. Indy.
All right,
Edis.
Yeetus, you can do this now. Come on, Yeetus. You got this. You just got to roll that 1-6. You can do it. Nope. Why is it trying to roll 2d6? I don't want that. I just want the 1d6. Sorry, it's being funny on me.
No worries.
No, that's the wrong direction.
All right. Next up, it is Maud. Maud, you are still shaken. Do you want to use that Benny to unshaken?
Shaken doesn't mess me up as much as
Shaken means you
distracted
can't do
does.
anything. There's like
Oh.
you can't take a major action.
Okay, then yes.
Yeah. You just can only take basically free actions.
Okay.
All right, so you use it. What would you like to do? This thing's still up in your grill. It only has eyes for you. You've blinded one, and it's kind of wandering around looking for you. You can tell it's kind of lost sight of you.
At this point, I mean, she's been terrorized by these owls.
Yeah.
And then this is just another flying creature, so she's probably gonna just like leap onto it like a crazy lady and just try and whale it with unarmed.
Okay, go for it. I
You
like
get
it.
him, Momo.
Take a
Like,
Betty.
she's-
That sounds like fun.
She's just done.
Yeah, take a Betty. That sounds fun. I mean, it misses, but I mean
Yeah.
that was really fun. I really enjoyed that.
I mean, you have a Benny now, so you could
tried
roll
to-
that if you
You
wanted.
try to climb up on top of it, and it's just like looking back, like, "What the fuck
Yeah.
are you doing, old lady?" All right. So let's put it this way. All right. Let's see if I can kill Maud.
No.
Let's see if I can kill Maud. I haven't even been using my bennies. As it hits, damage. That explodes. Oh, baby. No. Yeah, baby. Yeah. You want to? I mean, you could try to soak. You got that Benny back, but man, you're no longer distracted either. So you do lose that penalty.
I'll try and soak.
Okay, because right now I think that'll kill you.
Yeah, that will kill me.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
Okay.
take no damage. Jeez.
You tell that cave demon take its weak shit home, Mama.
Holy shit. I thought I got you. I thought I finally had you. All right. So this one is the one that's over by the birds. Essentially, this one's trying to stomp the birds out. So I will... All right. Yeah, so this one's just going to try to attack the birds, I think. So this big old... right on top of like, Mrs. H's corpse. But it's being very, like, gentlemanly and just, like, stepping over top of the body and not kind of messing up, like, she looks very nice. And it's just instead just trying to rip the owls apart. And we'll try to just sort of kind of smash away at them. I think there was something with... Yeah, it misses because it's a swarm. As it's just sort of... the cave demon that is blinded and kind of still trying to echolocate Maud. I'll do the same thing I did before. I'll roll that notice with a -4 to see if it kind of senses anybody. It doesn't. So I think it's just gonna screech again. Everybody with the exception of Lordy Mercy, go ahead and roll Spirit.
MSH, because she did.
You're distracted. And roll this to avoid taking 2 points of damage, or 2d6 worth of damage. Maud, you're good. And Cletus, you're both good for the damage, but they're both distracted. As the sound, like this cacophony of this loud screeching sound of this blind cave demon is just freaking out. Cletus, it's your turn.
All right. Well, I guess there's another hell demon right down below. He done missed me a little bit. I kind of dodge up and under. I'm trying to hit him in the unmentionables.
Okay.
I don't con what you done to Miss H. That was wrong. Rip off your dingleberries and feed them to you.
Oh, God. That's enough to hit.
Hey,
6 is good. 7 damage does not get through his toughness, though.
I really feel like I should save my baby.
Yeah, because
getting
you're
rough.
distracted this round.
Yeah.
It's getting rough. All right, now you're no longer distracted. Owl Swarm will go. They're having their own little duel over here now that Mrs. H is dead. And they do nothing. They're doing nothing to each other. They're just
Yeah, they're really not.
but at least they're keeping them off of anybody that, any of the players. Oh, wait. Indy. Indy, you want to take a shot at the blind guy?
Get him, dog. Do it. I believe in you.
No.
No, still
Closer.
nothing. Getting closer there. Come on.
He's
Remember, you
missing
just-
some of his teeth on one side. I'm kind of so he's just kind of gumming on them.
All right. So the hill demon right next to Cletus will continue to try to wail away. This time, just going to just punch him right in the face. With a miss. Why is tree not working anymore? It's just kind of smashing it down.
Just rolling around my little rotund keg barrel body shape, just rolling in the mud.
Stay still while you move. Lordy mercy.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can sneak by around the hut.
Okay.
Heal up Marty.
All right, you got your 6 pace. Go ahead and move. All right.
Healing on her as well.
Go for it. Need a big one here. She is definitely on her last legs.
If you can just get her down to 2 wounds, it's better than 3.
Ooh, it's no good. But I do have 1 Benny for him, so I'll roll 2.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, roll better.
You can do it.
No, we can't.
No, it's not
Maul's
good.
gonna, Maul's gonna
3 is
die.
better.
It was better.
All my guts are spilling as I walk over. I'm just
You're
dropping
just
all.
dropping. You're like, why can't I hold them?
Oh, no.
Oh goodness, goodness me.
She's going badly.
This is a rough.
This is really
Encounter.
rough. Really rough.
We're fucked.
Maud, what would you like to do for your last action? Last thing you'd like to do in life? You know?
I want to boost my boy Cletus.
Okay.
I want him to live.
You don't want him to have everything attacking him all at once. I think
just-
what's
I
going to
just
happen here.
Want him to live,
Okay.
and I fail.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot wounds to negate stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. It's pretty
Oh,
late. This is what we're gonna let's kind of wind this down narratively as it's getting pretty crazy.
Yeah. Oh man.
So we'll say, I mean, I've already taken 2 of you out. I feel the blood god has been paid. We'll say that, I mean, it's a little overwhelming. At a certain point, Lordy Mercy, Cletus, like, you managed to kind of distract the cave demons. Maybe it's Yeetus, in fact, and his barking that gets, like, the blind one to kind of pay attention to it and kind of drags the other one's attention away from Maud for a moment, just long enough for, like, Lordy Mercy and Cletus to grab her, kind of start dragging her deep into the fens and away from the what once was the town of Almarine, excuse me. Unable to get the bodies of what looks like your 2 compatriots, Miss H and Theo. But we'll say that the town of Almarine is completely overrun at this point by all these demons that have come kind of throttling up out of this sinkhole. Handful of people survived. A bunch of people died, including two of your party that kind of journeyed there. And we'll say like our closing image is of like Yeetus with Maud over top of his back, kind of just like the boar, except a hell of a lot lighter. All sorts of scrapes and bruises, pieces of like tree trunk and branch sticking out of his skin. Lordy Mercy like weeping a bit because he still can't find Adu to Claire. You know, a couple other of these townsfolk as well are kind of sludging around, and they're racing over towards the ferry, trying to get back on that ferry and across Big Sandy and away from like this massive demon horde that has now begun to sort of just rake through to the debris and destruction that has been rained upon the town. And I think we'll go ahead and end it there. That was really long. It was much longer than I wanted to go, but we'll end it there. Okay. So yeah, the biggest thing was like there were a couple timers.
Gotcha.
And it was the main timer was like So basically, any kind of dilly dallying, essentially, anything that wasn't just like you get the information and go right to try to do something about it. Like even before you even know about like, oh, there's demons beneath the sinkhole. Like it's if it would have taken you too long to find the boar or something like that, like then that could have been it. Or if you would have gone off after that will-o'-the-wisp, that would have probably caused it to anything that essentially would have. And then it essentially triggers the Demacano earlier. Otherwise, you would drop down into the sinkhole below, and it's 2 demons and 4 demon swarms, which are a lot easier to kill, but they also like auto damage, but the damage is kind of low, kind of like, you know, they do like 2d4 or something like that. And I think they were like medium blast or something like that. So I think they can potentially get like 2 or 3 people at the same time. So it was a little bit of an easier fight, but there was a timer on that fight too. So that if you don't kill them in like 5 rounds, then the explosion happens while you're mid-fight, and so then you get erupted up out. So, but if you
those actually die with like 1 wound instead of having to do like multiple wounds to
the swarms, the hill demons were the ones. They are resilient, meaning that they can take a wound and still keep going, but they also had a fast regeneration, kind of like trolls, where they can roll vigor at the end of their turn, like fast healing, to potentially regain a wound, which is why the one got back up and kept fighting Miss H after you wounded it. So but all right, that's Holler. We'll probably be playing more of this. I liked it. I hope every people enjoyed it.
Yeah.
failed our mission.
It's all right. Like, I mean,
I'm sorry, Mama. I tried.
first time playing, so we didn't really know, like, should I give them extra abilities? Should I give them extra things? So, like, like, we're just playing. It was a one shot, but like, I do want to do. Thank you, Nimbifer. Excuse me. I do want to do like more of the Savage Tales. Like, it's cool because the Savage Tales, you can kind of optionally like spot them into the plot point campaign in the game. And so I think at some point, I don't know what day, but I definitely want to try to run that plot point campaign. I'll figure it out at some point where it's going to go on the sketch, because who knows what the hell we're doing. Let's see. Jeremy, what do you got going on tomorrow? You're playing in a game tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some weird frontiers over on Goodman Games. I'm gonna be playing an undead child laborer.
Okay.
Yep. Tommy Knocker, right?
Yep, Tommy
Yeah.
Knocker.
All right. That's right on the same sort of vibe as this. I think there's a lot in common between the two. Yeah. And then as for the rest of us, tomorrow in the afternoon, tomorrow morning or early afternoon, Melissa and I will be over on Grim and Perilous Plays, as we're playing we're playing Strixhaven. We're playing 5th edition, some Strixhaven stuff. And then back here on our channel at like 5 Central, we're doing more One Ring 2nd edition. And then on Monday, we'll be back playing more Savage Worlds as me and Melissa and Jeremy as we get back to Deadlands, as we've been starting to do our Blood Drive campaign. So you can come check us out there. But thanks for those who hung out, threw some bits earlier and tried to help the players. It didn't work. But it was very good.
Trying.
It definitely
we would have been melted way sooner.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and throw us on the end. Is anyone up? Is Chuck still up over on Defenders? Did we outlast
I don't
Chuck?
see them.
I think we outlasted Chuck. All right, well, I think we're just gonna call it then. So none of the people I normally raid are up anymore because we're up way later than normal. So have a good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching this later on the YouTube. So bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
bye.